All right, let's go. We finna go live. All right. Appreciate it. All right, fellas, we live, and thank you. You're tuning in. You're vibing out with the Black Voice today. We've been promoting this thing all week. What do men think about relationships? Before we get started, today's podcast is brought to you by the King Law Firm, headed by the former Judge C. Hunter King, located at 2245 Virginia Street in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. If you need an attorney, call him at 225 615 7676. All right, and we're gonna get started, man. Today I am joined by three young black men. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves today. Starting with my right.
I'm Lamont Hills.
You can go in more than that. What you got to say, man? It's your time to shine, man. Go on. What you got to say?
Being modest.
Being modest.
I'm Lamont Hills. I'm a 3S University Law School Law Center. I'm gonna finish up this year practicing criminal law, criminal defense.
Okay, then you promote.
Nothing to promote right now.
Nothing to promote. All right, on my left.
I'm Byron Johnson, actor, coach, speaker, lots of things going, so it's doing my thing. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Everybody, all the cameras. Got a lot of cameras.
It's a lot of cameras, right? Far left.
Yeah, my name is Christopher King. I'm also a senior at Southern University Law Center. I'm a trainer, motivator, inspire. What else I do? Model, act, author. You know, do a lot of different things. So just glad to be here, and let's get started.
And as always, I'm your host, CJ King. You know what I do. I've been on this thing, running this thing, vibing the child, giving y'all great vibes for the black community since I started in August. So, yeah, about 3 months. And okay, so we're going to get started. Okay, so first question that the ladies have asked us to answer. Should women shoot their shot? Open the floor. Let anybody can speak.
I'll take that first. I hate it.
Why you hate it?
It just turns me off in a sense. And I'm saying it's not horrible, but I'd rather approach the woman I want.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like if a woman's gonna shoot their shot at me, they're just doing it to everybody else. I just like my women to just sit back and get selected.
Okay.
I see it a little bit different. I think I don't have a problem with a woman shooting their shot. I don't think a woman should pursue a man, but I do think you can shoot your shot to let somebody know you're interested. Now, if you're pursuing and always hitting somebody up and, essentially being like taking the man role in that aspect, that's not really attractive. But, just letting somebody know that you're interested in stuff, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, well, I feel that. See, that's more where I was going with it. I didn't mean just, of course they're supposed to give you a southern hint. That's how you know to shoot your shot.
Right. So me personally, in the year of 2018, going into 2019, women are so independent these days, and then they're always saying that they're so independent. So why can't you shoot your shot? In my opinion, if you see a guy, if you're at a bar, party, or anywhere in a public outing, and you see the guy that you want to go talk to, he may not necessarily see you. So you have to go up there and shoot your shot. Go speak to him.
I agree with you. I mean, that's the part of it that I think, is true. There may be a time where, she sees you first. And like Chris said, I think we had talked about that too. It's one thing for her to shoot a shot. Mm-hmm. It's another thing for her to pursue. You know what I mean? So just her, letting you know that she notices you, I don't think, excuse me, if there's anything wrong with that, So I'm cool with that.
But don't you think when a woman pursues a man, it's more along the like, I want what I want to, I want what I want.
Yeah.
She's showing her ambition. Like, I see what I want, and I'm gonna go after it.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the nature of a man is to want to be the pursuer. You know what I mean? So, like Lamont said, and I think Chris kind of cleaned it up a little bit for him. But like he said, I think you still want to do that if you're into that woman. But I think there's nothing wrong with her just letting you know that she may feel a certain type of way about you. So that that's my opinion.
Okay. All right. So before we go into the next question, since we are on live, on IGTV, no, not on IGTV, but we are on live, Instagram live, on how many people, on how many different channels? I know we live on my channel.
Live on my
Mine,
channel.
shout out, what's up? Thank y'all.
Why you ain't live?
Just got it from the SBA meeting, y'all. Hey, right on time.
Oh
We can make
man,
it live, bro.
we can make it live right quick, man. Set him up. Someone set him up.
Just
Or
hold.
someone just hold his phone.
So,
But since we are live, if what you say?
I need the Wi-Fi.
What's the Wi-Fi? What's the Wi-Fi? But if y'all have any questions on live, feel free to ask.
send them in.
I got two camera ladies, behind. They're gonna voice off the cameras.
Send them in. If
What's
you
up?
have a question, we've been getting a lot of questions, so we appreciate all the questions that we've been getting, but we're
Big
trying
facts.
to keep it under a time limit, so, if you do have some questions and we can answer them,
That just means it might be a part two.
yeah, so, yeah, definitely. We're going to try to do some things and satisfy
Just give it to
everybody's needs.
Magellan. Come on, grab his phone. Plug in the Wi-Fi.
The hands.
Oh, nice hands.
And,
It's the king of position you play, man. Come on.
okay, so next question we're gonna go into is colorism a thing?
Let me take this one.
All right, go ahead, take it.
Right, he ready for
He
it.
ready for it.
But hey, colorism is definitely a thing. I know
Explain that.
colorism is when we talk about the light skin, the dark skin, all the little skin intricacies that we have. Blessed
Different
to be
shades
black
of
people,
melanin.
different shades of But
Yeah.
yeah, like we got here, we got everybody
From the light
represented.
skin.
You know what I'm saying? The long light skin at the table. They saw fit to them. But yeah, colorism, man, it's definitely a thing. And I think these days, I don't know about y'all, but when I was growing up, I mean, we keeping it honest, like dark skin really wasn't in.
Right,
It
right.
really wasn't. But lately, it's become a thing. And I think on the women's side, we always talk about how dark skinned women are objectified or they're looked at as pushed aside. But I ain't gonna lie, being a light skinned guy, like it seems like these days, it's more, working in y'all favor these days. You know what I mean? And not that, everybody has their preference, everybody has their taste, but society, maybe, as a whole, is embracing different parts. But colorism is definitely a thing in our own community, and it's something that, I just wish we didn't focus on that. I wish we just focused on the fact of just being black and embracing just what being black is as a whole. And I correct me if I'm wrong, maybe, but I think we're the only race that really has different shades like that. You know what I mean? That really, like, shades really are, like, very,
So-
very varied,
So why are men sometimes penalized for having a preference that they see that they want? And like
one of y'all can get that.
I think it depends on the reason and the motive behind your preference. You know what I mean?
what you mean?
I think everybody's entitled to have their preference. Everybody, likes what they like to a certain extent. But I think everybody needs to be self-aware and really think, why do you like that? You know what I mean? Well, why do I like, lighter skinned women or, darker skinned women, or why do I like this over that? You know what I mean? Just to kind of make sure you're self-aware and it's not because of, any systematic thing or just because, that's what the TV's pumping out or anything like that. Make sure there's nothing wrong with you liking what you like, but make sure it's what you like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, don't do it for, society or for, your boys or for anybody else.
I hate to pause. Our cameraman is what we got?
Good.
Just next time, just keep hitting it.
You don't suppose.
Yeah, no more pauses. All right, finish your statement. Oh, you done? Okay. You want to take a spin on that one?
I don't believe in colorism because, at the end of the day, to me, pretty is pretty, beautiful is beautiful.
Right.
Any type of shade. That's why I honestly say to this day, I don't think I necessarily have a type. You know what I'm saying? It's deep in there. It's vibes, it's personality, it's how I feel, you know what I'm saying? So, color doesn't just do it for me. And I love my chocolate.
Hey.
All
Cause you know what they say.
I feel like they get the most flack out of everybody.
They do.
I think
They
they
do.
do.
They
Yeah, I
definitely
agree
do.
with that.
And then you got that what's it called? That saying that men are attracted to women that look that similar to their moms. You know, so if you have a light-skinned mom, chances are you're going to end up pursuing a light-skinned woman. So, but yeah, that's that. Okay, so what's the third question we're going to get into? We have a lot of questions.
Yes.
I'm just picking them. I'm just gonna rapid fire.
Shout out Chris, IG. What up, everybody?
How's live going?
Looking, but what's up? What's up?
Any questions on live yet?
Oh, that's
Yo,
I was
that's
looking,
his
but
live.
yo,
That's,
Yeah.
we got Lamont live
what up?
now.
Everybody on Lamont, whatever.
Anybody posing questions on live
Welcome
yet?
to the Black Voice.
Hey,
What's that next question?
I'm gonna spice it up.
All right, that's why we here.
What makes a woman wifeable? Who want to answer that one first?
Who want to answer that? I think it varies what makes a woman wifeable. I think there are enduring qualities about women that I think we all may share, but that's totally up to your own discretion. I think we all may have similar answers, but in a way, I don't think there's one thing that makes a woman wifeable. I think
I think there is.
What's up?
Let me check real quick. And this might sound
No,
cliche,
go
but you gotta have a relationship with God.
Yeah, no, for me that's definitely
That's on my list.
Yeah, that's
on
top
everybody's
of my
list.
list. That's
On
tops
mine.
of my list. Yeah, tops. I would say for me, I ain't gonna lie, relationship with God. Just a beautiful spirit, ambitious, strong, smart. Just I feel like all those things. They make the woman that I pray that I get to marry. So, but it is an objective question, man. I think we all may give similar answers, but like I said, in our pursuit of that that woman or that wife, we're definitely looking for a few different things that may we all have the same life.
A big thing for me that I look for when I'm pursuing a wife is ambition. Crazy ambition. I love a woman who knows what she wants and refuses to settle.
Yeah.
And who get after it by any means necessary. Boss mentality. That's really what I love, and I still love to see in a woman. She identified what her dreams are. She's going after it. Even if that means going to her 9-to-5 job and then coming home and then working on herself for her, working on her dreams up until 2, 3 in the morning and doing it back, doing it again. Hustle. Love the hustle.
All right, Mitch.
Bitch. What about you, bro?
Man, if y'all know me, y'all know I could be a little out there, but
Get out there,
what
man.
makes a woman wifeable? I think it's really a combination of everything y'all said. It's never just one thing. Even to a certain extent, a relationship with God. Because, don't get me wrong, that's the initial thing. You got to have that, no doubt. But I think it has to be with a lot of other things, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's not just about a relationship, God. It's about, the level that you are on. You know what I mean? Because being unequally yoked is not just a believer and a non-believer. You can both believe in God, but be on two completely different levels and, not be equally yoked. So, it's...
You can bring them along?
You can, but you I guess it just depends on everybody's situation, because to a certain extent, if they're like just starting and you're like on a completely different level, it might cause a little friction. I'm not saying it's impossible, because God can make, anything happen, but you just got to be mindful of that. You know what I mean? Because just like anything, if you're doing calculus, right, and she's just learning the timetables, it's going to be hard to bring somebody up to speed to that. You see what I'm saying? And everybody's process is different, and everybody has a process. So you really got to have, that grace to let them go through their process.
Yeah.
But in terms of just being a wife, I think it has to do with, loyalty, honesty, transparency, a relationship with God. My biggest thing, if all these guys know me, is every day you have to set out to be better mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. If you can do that, I feel like you're going to be on the right track to potentially, be a great wife for anybody. But you gotta have that desire to constantly improve every day.
Yeah, I think, like you said, though, it's about, you don't, and vice versa. You wouldn't want her to drag you along, but you gotta find somebody that's on your pace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, somebody that's
Like-minded.
yeah, like y'all may not necessarily be doing the exact same things in life or anything like that, but just somebody that's running stride for stride with you in life. And I think like you said, if you're doing those things, setting out to be better every day, setting out to really improve, I think at some point you just run into that. You know, because like you said, it's a pace. Like you're going, and all of a sudden on your race, you find somebody that's willing to do the same thing. So, you know, definitely somebody that's just along that same pace. And you know, we all at our own paces.
Okay, so what happens if you find yourself with a woman who's falling behind?
Not on the same
Who's
pace.
not on the same pace as you,
If God,
and you're continuously outpacing her?
is God telling you that's your wife?
Right.
That's the
That's
question.
a big. That's a
the
big
question
part.
because that's a test. You know what I mean? And I think if he is, then that's just the answer. He is.
Right.
You know, that's a test of faith. But if he's not, then obviously, I mean, she's not that woman for you. So I mean, you know, like I said, if you hear from God, and God tells you something, it's in your best interest to say yes. I would think.
Okay.
Got a second question too.
What we got?
So we got a
We
question.
got our
It
first
says-
question from live.
It says, what do you look at first when you're looking at a potential partner or just to be in some relationship? The personality, the body, the looks. You know, what do you look for, or what I guess matters more? You know,
I can
looking at that.
already answer that one.
who's ready for that?
I'm ready for that one. Actually, I think that probably was a question later down the road, but we can answer that right now.
Yep.
Coming from the first setting, as soon as I lay my eyes on you, I don't know your personalities. I don't know what you think. You know, so you got to be attracted to me. You got to be pleasing to my eyes. So I would definitely say looks and what was the other one? Looks and what?
I'd be lying if I said looks good.
Looks definitely matter.
Yeah.
Looks definitely.
I mean, let's be honest, and especially in today's society, and I don't think it's all bad. It's just about the perception that you look at it through. Looks do matter. I mean, in anything, looks matter. But I don't think you should. Looks is not the only thing that matters.
No,
Looks
it's not
matter,
the
but
only-
it's definitely not the only thing.
Looks
that matters.
opens the door.
Right, because you're
Looks
not.
open the door.
I don't care who you are. You're not gonna. When you're attracted to somebody, that door is gonna be open. To, oh man, I kind of want to get to know you better. I kind of want to, let's go on a date and stuff
Like
like
the
that.
personality keeps you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's
Right.
I hate to use this analogy because we just talked about this the other day. But the icing and the cake thing that you keep
Oh
saying.
man, yeah.
But hey, look, real talk though. It's they need each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You need to have the bread, the cake. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, to make the cake. But you gotta have the icing because the icing makes the cake. Excuse me, taste good. So you have to have both. So I think definitely, you see somebody and you see a woman that you think is beautiful. You're definitely going to look at her and think, oh well, I like this woman. She's pretty, but that personality that's going to keep you there. So you definitely, we're going to see that first. But hey, at the end of the day, once I get through that door, the only thing that's going to keep me staying is that personality and that spirit.
So don't neglect the icing. Don't get me wrong. Everybody needs cake.
Yeah.
Cake is the substance. You have to have
But don't
cake.
neglect the icing.
But don't neglect the icing.
We all like to, look our best. So I
Right.
think that nothing's wrong. I think in society people try to make this though.
You know what I like
We're
to do when I
making
eat? Oh, my fault.
What's up?
I was like, you know what I like to do when I like to eat cake?
Oh, God.
I like to, you know that extra icing that be on the rim of the
On the
on the
bottom,
cardboard.
bottom.
I used to take the knife and scoop that up and add more icing to the cake.
As long as it's on the cake. Hey, as long as it's attached to that cake, it's all good.
I'm just saying, don't neglect that icing.
Right.
But understand that the cake is the substance. That's going to keep you. That's going to, when you old and gray and the icing get old,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like the cake is going
Icing got hard and
yeah,
stiff.
yeah. But the cake is still going it ain't good.
If you surround it, baby.
Something like that.
Some plastic. So you're doing some plastic now.
Yeah.
Everybody doing plastic now.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
That was a great question.
That was a great question. I don't know who it came from, but I appreciate that question. So, like I said, if you got any more questions, man, hit them up on the live.
Yeah.
And we'll answer them as we go through the talk. So, next question. Why are guys intimidated about dating virgins? What we got?
We definitely is going there, but this next question, it kind of bounces off what we just talked about.
What happened?
It says, how do you feel if your girlfriend wears like makeup or weave or anything like that, or even plastic surgery?
I
Like,
don't care.
at all.
I don't care at all. I don't care. I mean,
As long as you have a good
Yeah,
base,
like-
if your foundation's good. If you look good without it,
right.
I mean, you gotta look good without it. I gotta see without
Even
it.
the surgery and stuff too? Everything?
No, I don't like. There's this study that says that women who get breast implants live slightly longer than women who
I feel like that's Google facts.
I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, it might
I've
be.
never heard that.
I read it. It said that because
Repeat it.
women who get breast implants, they're slightly longer than women who don't have them
That's new for me, dog.
oh man, let me tell you why though. Because they are constantly getting checkups on their implants. So if so something like is deformed or something is wrong, the doctor catches it at a way earlier time than regular.
Okay. I see what you mean. I'm gonna have to look down on myself. But what was that next question? Because I felt like that was about to get hot.
Oh, why are guys intimidated about dating virgins?
Go ahead, sit down.
If anybody at the panel dated a virgin before,
Well,
Go ahead.
me personally, I mean, y'all know me. I'm definitely not intimidated. That's the wrong question for me because I'm not intimidated about it.
not intimidated. What's another word other than not
Reluctant.
intimidated? Reluctant. There we go. Yeah, more reluctant to date.
Wrong with it. If anything, I feel like, in my opinion, most guys would rather, if there was a pool of them, go out and date a virgin.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that you have to mold her sexually because
Yeah.
she's completely inexperienced, but I feel like
I
a lot
think
of guys don't like taking time.
you're right, and I think that's I think reluctant is a better word because I don't think it's that maybe some guys are, but I think just lazy guys or guys that aren't thinking long term may not be willing to mold her sexually or want to mold her sexually. When I would think that in a relationship, in a healthy relationship, that's one of the fun parts. Molding somebody sexually. So I definitely would be reluctant, but maybe some guys are.
We keeping it real. Okay, so me personally, I'm gonna be completely honest. I am reluctant on to dating a woman who's a virgin. Not saying that I won't, but I mean, I just don't, because when it comes down to having sexual intercourse, I feel like I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to be a teacher. I prefer you to already know what you're doing in that segment.
Now, we're going to tie into another question that's coming up, but
Definitely.
so if you want her to know what you're doing, do you mind how many people she's done it with? Does that
Goes right into the question. That goes right into the question.
It goes right into that
Might as well
question.
ask it.
Might as well answer that right now. I don't want to know.
Okay,
It's I feel like it's none of my business to me to know how many men you slept with, how many men you dated, or whatever. Because I'm not gonna be off the top. I'm not gonna tell you how many women I've been with.
I feel that. And while we discuss this, I want to know: can we get interactive with Chris's live? And I know he's pretty active.
Yeah.
So can we ask your viewers how they feel?
Yeah.
Can we ask them if body count matters? And we just
Does body count matter? Answer right now.
And while we finish our
So
discussion,
because I don't know if people were being active or not last night. We can't see them.
You got joined. You got some laughs.
For me,
Byron got 16.
He got the
okay.
Yeah, we got 1, it matters. 2, hell yes.
Why you feel that way? Why you
If
feel
you
that
feel
way?
me, yes. Heck yes, yes.
Man,
I'm getting a lot of yeses.
Yes.
You getting a lot of yeses. Why?
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you.
I gotta know.
Who is that? No, I'm just playing.
Who that came from?
Nah, we ain't gonna.
It came from
I
a
say
girl.
it's not healthy for a woman to be in oh, that's a different one, my bad. We got no, we got definitely not.
Yeah.
So we got a little mixture,
Hey, look,
you know?
I'm gonna answer this. For me, definitely, I would say it matters for sure. My rule is that I don't feel like. I guess it depends on our age. I don't necessarily have to know every detail, like people you dating in like middle school or nothing, but things that are
middle school these days.
But things that are going to affect me, I definitely want to know. So, like, sexual health, kids, you know what I mean? Like, situations. But, yeah, definitely body count matters. I mean, I definitely would say it does.
Okay.
And
So,
that segues to another question.
so does that mean that you have a certain number?
Oh, we not.
Okay.
Woo,
So,
we want to get a number. How many? Let him go. We're going to
okay. So, like, for me, body count matters. And let me explain it why. We all first have to understand that sex is not just physical. It's emotional. It's spiritual. There's ties that go on to other people when you have sexual intercourse with them. So it's a lot more than just you physically have another body on your list. So and my Byron said, you know, if it affects me. I think everybody that you have sex with is going to affect the person that you're going to be next with. Because if you have sex with somebody, or you have intercourse with somebody, or you're in a relationship with somebody, that can affect the way you see love, the way you see, men, the way you see, things about yourself, your self-esteem. It affects so much. You know what I mean? So I think it's so important to. And like I said, you don't need to know everybody, and tally them up.
That's
but
more
I think,
what I meant, though.
right? I think you definitely need to know, well, what happened in this relation? Where were you in that, in that season in your life? What were you thinking? Like, what were you doing? Are you grown from that? Are you still thinking that way? You know what I mean? Like, because all that's going to affect me in the relationship. Mm-hmm. Because if you're still in that kind of that mindset, that's definitely going to affect me. You know what I mean? And let's be honest. I know we all can say, yeah, yada, yada. But, the more experience you have with another person, the more it opens the gate for you to compare your husband or wife, even sexually, to that person. Now, I'm not saying you're just going to flat out compare them, but I'm saying it opens the gate. So if I have, which I don't, if I have like 50, bodies, then if I get married, even subconsciously, there's a chance that I could compare my wife experiences or having sex with my wife to having sex with the other 50 people. You know what I mean? And that's something that me personally, I don't want to do at all. I want to keep that in a box by itself. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, to each his own. Everybody's different. But, like you said, I understand your part on the experience part, but...
So you're going to tell, off the gate, you're going to tell the woman that you've been with, or the one that you see, like, oh, I've been with 20 women since...
Yeah. If it,
I've been out the gate.
Not out the gate, but, I mean, if we get to the point where we're serious, I think that that's the talk to be had. And I don't think, if you love somebody and you're trying to get to that point where it's really serious, you want to be open, you want to be honest. And transparency and honesty is two different things. Transparency is you telling them without them asking. Right. You know what I mean? So I think definitely, you have to be raw, man. And that's, for you to have a successful marriage, I think a lot of it is just that openness and that vulnerability. You have to be comfortable with that. If you're not willing to give that, then, are you really all the way in love? Are you really...
But you can still be in love with that person and
are you going
not
to
worry and not really be worried about that.
It's not necessarily about being
at the end of the day, you're with me.
True, but
why do I need to be worried about Paul?
True, but you haven't just been with you. You have been with Paul, so you have to. There may be a subconscious comparison to Paul when they're with you. You know what I mean? So it does count in a way. And I think it's just a talk to be had, man. Like we talk about our past experiences with our partner. We talk about, life experiences. Why is there such a trouble sexually? Because we're embarrassed? I don't really think it should be that. I think we should be able to be vulnerable and be open.
No, I don't think it's because it stems from embarrassment. I think it stems from...
What's the reason to hide it, though? When you would tell her about issues that you had when you were 5 or 7, or, you know what I mean? Things that happened to you. I mean, that would come up, right?
Because let's be honest, there's certain things that women don't need to know. So there's certain things that they don't need to know.
Why not?
Think about it. If you're going to be in a marriage, man, you have to be as transparent. Like, why would you want to be in a marriage with somebody for the rest of your life, but still having to hide stuff? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're going to be in a marriage for the rest of your life, man, you want to be as honest and transparent. That's the difference between honesty and transparency. Yeah. Transparency is offering up the truth. Yeah. So, no, you don't have to ask, man, like, especially if it affects you. Like you said, why do I need to know about Paul? Well, let's say she had a horrible sexual experience with Paul. And I'm like, of course, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But let's say she was abused, you know what I mean? Or she was raped. And that's a sexual experience. That's going to affect you in her relationship with you. So I think, to a certain extent, you have to know that. If you're getting serious with somebody, you really got to know that, because that affects you in your relationship and how you can love her and how she can receive your love. It all ties together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so...
You got a question? That's the only way I can...
Okay, so what...
Yeah, it's coming from your...
So is there a certain number
It's your question.
that's too high?
But we posted it on his
What's the question?
It's from her. I posted it from me, but it's from one of his people.
Let's see what it is. Let's get a little interaction.
Y'all
look at
said
that
y'all.
sideways.
Yeah, I know. Look at that. Look stupid. Y'all said y'all wouldn't be able to date someone if she's just starting her walk with Christ. What if she's further along?
What's a walk with Christ?
Your walk with Christ. He said walk with Christ. Like your relationship with God. He said, what if she's further along with her walk? Is that intimidating, or are y'all sticking around? Or leaving?
I think for some guys,
Good
that
question.
was a question for
That
me.
was a question for you.
I think that some guys may be intimidated by it. Hey, we gotta take it. But I definitely that would make me want to step my game up. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been, I was raised in the church, but my journey with Christ has been for a long time. So, if there's somebody that's, I know my journey that I've had. If there's somebody that is going even harder, for me, that's motivation. Some guys it may be intimidation, but for me, it's not. I'm not gonna lie. But I could see it from other men's perspective to where it may be something that'll trouble them. But like I said, I definitely, I'm not, and like we said, I don't think any of us said that we wouldn't, but just understand that, for me, definitely, if a woman was coming with it like that, man, that's special. I'm definitely trying to see what that's like, So I'm going for that one for sure.
Yeah, I like to elevate. Like I love a challenge. I like to
Yeah.
elevate at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
anything that's gonna edify me and her in our relationship, I'm with that.
Right. I mean, like I said, got to get better every day, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. If you could do that for me, that's big.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's big. Because I
always
pride
say we want
myself.
peace, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
We want
I want
peace.
somebody that's going to push me, even because we all get weak sometimes. When I'm falling down on my face, I need a woman to be like, nah, man, let's go, let's pick it up. Just like, let's say physically, I want her to be, be able to say, hey, Chris, you're slacking a little bit. I need you to pick it up, tighten up. I should be able to do that. You know what I mean? Having a partner, I think, also comes with accountability. You know what I mean? If you could be accountability spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, man, you got something.
Okay,
You got
so-
something big right there.
All right, okay, so if you're going to pick one of those categories, which one is most important to you? Physically, spiritually, mentally,
Emotionally.
Man.
Emotionally.
emotionally. If you can only pick one, what was the category that you gotta have? Me personally, it's mentally.
Okay.
Like, I want someone to push me, challenge my mindset. Like I said, if I'm dating a woman and she's hella ambitious, boss mentality, then I'm going to try to be, I'm gonna try to be like match her game.
What you got a crazy list?
Well, you got a crazy
I
question
got a comment.
on what?
Y'all wrong for that. Playing my boy Lamont like that.
What happened?
What happened? What
They
they say?
said Lamont is not qualified to be on this panel. Yeah, y'all wrong for that. Y'all wrong for that.
Oh man.
Hey, who's it from?
You get into that?
Oh, it's good.
Track female.
Oh, okay.
Do my dog like
You
that.
can do my man's like that.
But
He
you
know
know
what
that.
jokes
You
are.
know what it is. You know what it is.
I'm about to say, at the end of the day, and I told everybody that I was promoting this with, because everybody that knows me personally knows that I'm not ready for a relationship right now at the moment. I'm not looking for that. I'm ready to finish my last year of law school, get things going. A lot of people say, well, why don't you just build that with somebody? That's just not where I'm at.
It's not that
You know what I'm
easy.
saying?
Right.
I'm not the type
That takes
to cheat on
time.
anybody, and I'm
Takes
not ready
time.
to be with one person. So
Gotcha.
I'm not going to sit here and cheat on you, but I'm not also.
That's not
But you got to appreciate that
That's natural.
self-awareness. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You have to appreciate that because there's a lot of dudes out here that don't care enough to be like, well, I'm not in a relationship. I don't even want to get, on that level so I end up hurting you in the long run. No, I know I'm not ready for it. I know I'm focused on different things. You got to be able to appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because self-awareness is key.
Right, absolutely.
So back to the, what?
It was a number. How many is too many?
On what?
Body count. We still on body count.
I have another question for Byron.
Oh, what's up? What's
Yeah,
up?
really, just say it.
We have a follower. My father's a well-known pastor, and most guys I've met feel intimidated about me having a father that is in ministry. How would y'all feel about dating a pastor's daughter?
I mean, all right. I don't see anything wrong with it. That wouldn't intimidate me. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm dating her, not her father. Now, I do understand that her father may have a heavy influence on her, but at the end of the day, her personality and her spirit is going to come out. So I wouldn't be intimidated by dating a preacher's kid. I don't think that's a. I don't know. I don't see it as a problem for me.
Everybody gets a shot.
Well, and to be honest, the fact that her dad's a preacher, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a great thing, but to a certain extent, it doesn't like you
That
said, it
doesn't give
doesn't
you your
hold so
walk.
right because
Yeah.
you can't live off of like
Your dad's
your
walk.
dad's walk with
Yeah.
Christ. You need to have your own spiritual level.
Yeah.
And just because he says things to you or you're in church, that doesn't mean your spiritual walk is, where it needs to be. You know what I mean? So it really depends on that person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And more, it needs to be my person. It needs to be more of the spiritual walk.
Yeah.
Church is great. Church is amazing. It's necessary.
Religion is
But,
church is-
right,
church
religion,
is a building.
religion, that spiritual relationship with God are a little two different things, and you need to have that one-on-one spiritual relationship with God.
Thank you for the question.
I have a question for Christopher. Why is sex and its magical number such a deal breaker when it comes to relationships? What if this woman is who God sent to be with you, lead her, teach her, and help her, but she had multiple partners?
Ooh, I got this asked you.
Right.
How many is too many?
What's too many? That's the question.
How many is too many for you?
You gotta.
Okay. Let me explain this.
Leave it simple, Joe.
I think it has to do.
Let's say wild enough.
It depends because I'm a virgin, but it really
Hear
depends.
that, ladies?
Chill out. It really depends because I feel like it depends on the time. I feel like it depends on the time. When did you start? Where you at now? So let's say you're just throwing out numbers, crazy. But if you're 30, it's understandable to have a higher body count than somebody that's 20, right? That's just understandable, right?
Okay.
So I just don't think it should be like, you have to understand. My biggest thing, like with the body count, is do you value yourself? You know what I mean? Like how much value do you put on yourself? You know what I mean? Is it a rare jewel that you don't want anybody to touch or until they earned it, until they put that ring on your finger? Or are you just letting any and everybody get a piece of it?
She's 25 with 10. 25 with 10 bodies.
What y'all think?
No, just by his reaction.
When they start.
They started when they got to college.
So what, 18?
Yeah, 18.
We kind of did a little bit of this before,
Yeah.
but that number is definitely realistic nowadays.
That's
It is.
It's very realistic. I know
It
Chris.
is.
It's realistic. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It is.
Hold on.
That's a lot.
I gotta say
There,
something right
first,
here.
before you do that, though,
We
there's
are
no one way
adults.
to answer this question. So
Right.
let's just put
We are adults. So
Y'all have a follower that just said, how many is too subjective to answer?
it's too subjective.
That's what he's saying.
I mean, it's too subjective.
He
That's
said,
C love.
Oh.
of course.
Okay, anyway. All right, so
Shout out C-Love.
we're all shout out C-Love. All right, but we're all adults here. Okay, so sex, it's just sex at some point.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Cause
What's wrong? What's wrong with having you meet this one person in the club at the party, and y'all go back to the hotel and y'all do y'all thing, and then y'all go y'all separate ways. You're adults, so you're not a kid.
It happens. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna sit here and give like this political answer. That definitely happens.
Definitely.
Happens. But at the same time,
I mean, women have needs
no,
just like men do.
of course. But I think you operate in different arenas in yourself. Sometimes there are some times where you do think more spiritually.
Mhm.
There are some times where you think more carnally. I think that's what makes us up as people. So I mean, I can't give a clear-cut answer to that question. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think that, like I said, if God sends a certain woman and that's who she is, bro, you can say what you want. that's who she is. You know what I mean?
It don't matter as
And
long as
like-
that's not her no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not her no more.
That's not you no more. Because we talked about it before.
Yeah.
Like,
And you said that.
I mean, because sometimes that high number tells you how that person operates, and what they're willing to do, and not willing to stop doing. So that's what brings somewhat of insecurity with that number with some men.
See, for me, it's not about insecurity at all. Like it has nothing to do with you've been with this many men. Can I compete? It really has nothing to do with that. It's more so, like I said before, about a mindset thing. Like where were you when you were going through that? You know what I mean? Are you changed? Are you elevated? Do you still move in that way? Because as soon as we start talking, you have to be willing. I mean, you have to be willing to essentially not have sex till you're married. You know what I mean? Even if your body count is 10, you 30. Even if your body count is relatively high,
Like old girl on back chat said she had 100.
But I can tell you there's a couple people in your life right now, for sure, are over 20.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
You may think it's not.
So,
Hey, I got a question though. I want to kind of piggyback off some. I'm gonna take the heat off it right quick. Do you feel like there's a double standard between the body count of women and the body count of men?
No, there's definitely is.
Do you feel that that's right though? And would you take into account? Hold on, stop. Would you take into account that if a woman had that, but you may have had a similar or close body count, would you take that into account? Because I think it's already unfair that ladies do have a little bit of a double standard, man. So I think that
This is how I'm
we
gonna
gotta
answer.
hold ourselves accountable.
This is how I'm gonna answer that one right there. Okay,
Give a good answer, dog.
I would not. Of course. I wouldn't. I don't care what my lady's body count is. However, if I had a daughter, I would not want her to have a high body
That's
count.
a double standard.
It is. I know that's the definition of a double standard. But
It is.
We got.
I don't care what my wife. I don't care what my wife's body count is. But baby girl, I don't want you out here busting open for everybody.
Okay, let me.
We have a couple of questions.
Okay, we're about to get there.
Please try it.
Okay, so is it a double standard? Yes. You know what I mean? Like men are promiscuous and getting around. They're praised for that, especially in the locker room. They're praised for that. Women, they get that tag, and it doesn't look good, right? I don't think women should want to be in this whole world where everybody wants to be equal nowadays. Which is fair.
Yeah.
I don't think women need to strive to be equal in that sense. You don't want to be praised because of that. That's not something you should want to be praised of. If anything, you should want to bring the men and hold them to a higher standard. To let them know that no, having a huge body count or being promiscuous is not a good thing, and we don't accept it. You know what I mean? Don't come down to our level. Bring us to your level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
All right.
Y'all have a couple moments?
Yeah.
Craig.
Let's try to answer.
We got. Oh, I got a question.
Would you be willing to marry a prostitute
We
or a
actually-
stripper?
We have that question on Byron and Craig right now.
So-
Seriously.
I gotta pick one or the other.
No, like in general, prostitute, stripper.
Oh, like would you
You was
date?
too eager.
Like would you?
Okay. Yeah, he was ready
No,
to
would
choose.
you not date? Marry.
Marry. It's marry. Will I marry a prostitute or a stripper?
Both of you.
First.
I definitely wouldn't marry a prostitute. But a stripper, I can give a stripper consideration
All right,
only because she could be in law school or medical school, and she was stripping to pay the bills. That's all she knew how to do. She had an amazing body, and that's what she did to pay the bills.
Can I answer this question?
I mean, what was that? Like Players Club.
You need to.
I'm gonna be honest. No. No. I'm just be honest.
If you had to pick, though. You had to pick. You're gonna be single. You're gonna be single.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. No, that's just not something I'm interested in, and I'm okay with saying that. So, nah, sorry.
Okay, we have quite a few of y'all have people saying God doesn't send you a wife or a woman. It's your job to find one. What's your opinion on it?
God doesn't send you a wife or a
He
woman.
got-
And the
God
same-
sends you
Yeah.
We also have people saying relationships aren't tested.
They are what?
Tested.
Tested.
Like, wait.
I think that goes back to when you say that when is God testing you to be with somebody, a certain person. And that's what I think that's what they.
I don't
well,
agree with that.
Let's first go with the first one was what's
God
the first
doesn't send you a wife or a woman.
Yeah,
you find one.
I disagree with that
You put
because
it in
if
your
I'm
area.
right,
You put it in
if
your
I'm
area.
moving outside of like God's path for me, then I don't want that woman. You know what I mean? Like God's gonna just like anything. God sends you opportunities. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
You have to be willing to seize that opportunity and take
Wow.
advantage of
What
it.
I always say, I can only throw you the alley, but it's up for you to dunk the ball. I mean,
Right.
he's
Same
gonna
thing
put it in your area, you know what I mean? But it's up for you to.
Area though, I don't think necessarily supposed to fall in your lap.
No,
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
gonna
no,
fall.
It's not gonna fall in
Anything
your lap.
in life,
You know what I'm saying? Like the ball is up. You feel me? It's up for you to finish
Right.
it. You know what I mean?
And
So-
anything
Anything easy is not worth having.
Well, look who's saying that.
What?
Well, if everybody can get her, would you want her?
What you mean?
Back to the body count question. If everybody can get her,
Back to the body count.
I'm just saying. You said it's easy. If everybody can get her,
I'm grown. I'm a grown man. If I want to have sex and we go and that's all it is, we just having sex, no feelings attached, which can happen by
we're
the
talking about
way.
relationships, right?
We all talk
We're
about
talking
relationships.
about
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Having sex can turn to a relationship.
It can.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
it can. You You gotta be.
Because sometimes you start off without intentions for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
You
You know,
You end up falling.
we're just gonna be sex buddies. Another
That
word,
happens.
but I'm not gonna say
But
that.
we got another question.
Somebody asked, do y'all ask women for their body count as well as their status in regard to STDs and HIV?
I ask for the status, I don't ask for body count. That's not my business that early. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, maybe
What's
when we
early?
get there, sometimes I don't. I mean, we have to be mutually exclusive at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Not at first, but definitely before I deal with anybody, I have to know the status.
Okay. So
24.
21. Okay. All right. Next question. How long does it take for a man to realize that they want to be exclusive and leave the whole?
The promiscuous women.
The promiscuous.
Yeah, let's
the promiscuous
keep it
time.
this way.
We could have done the PG.
Oh man,
Go ahead.
it's not necessarily because a man is not gonna stop being promiscuous until he's ready, and it's not like you just realize you have an epiphany all of a sudden one day.
Right.
It's just where you are in life, like. And I'm not there, so I can't give a definitive answer about that.
I'm not. I know I'm not there yet.
I would say it's all about his headspace. I think, at the end of the day, you can't, and the same with women. It's all where your perspective, where your head is. If your head and your perspective isn't there, it's not going to happen. But, I think you get to a space, anytime, honestly, I've got, exclusive with a woman, it's when I absolutely felt I was ready. And it's not no timetable. It's not no, something that happens. It's not it's literally, dude, B, you ready to go there with her. You know what I mean? And it's not, I ain't gonna lie, it's low key sometimes ripping a band-aid off quick, you gotta do it quick, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But definitely I would say that, it's under your own discretion, but for me it's all about spiritually and headspace. Just if I'm there and ready. And sometimes it's not even about being promiscuous, man. I think that's something that, we need to say too. Sometimes it's not about you being, a dog and getting a girl. Sometimes, man, you just may need a break, or you just want to build you. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about that, spending time by yourself. There are times, man, where I literally just wanted to spend time by myself. And it's not saying that I didn't like anybody, that I didn't care for anybody, but just, you have your opportunities in life where you want to have your own space. So it's just all about when you feel you're ready for that.
And just to bounce off that in terms of the headspace and stuff like that, I agree. It definitely depends on the headspace. But with also that being said, man, you also got to make sure. That's why you always got to continue to prepare and stay ready. You got to always keep growing, because you never know when God might lay her in your path. You know what I mean? And you might see her and be like, I ain't never met another woman like you ever. Right. And I got to take advantage of that opportunity because we might not meet again. So you know what I mean? Right. And let's say you met that woman. If you really met her and God was like, hey, bro, this your wife.
Yeah.
I'm showing you this your wife. But if you're still focused on, let me go do my thing and yada yada yada.
It's time.
But see,
Right.
this is why I endorse having your quote unquote fun in your younger days. Because hear me out. Because while you're having your fun, that's when you learn and find yourself and learn what I do want and what I don't want in a woman. Hold on. I'm not done. I was trying to cut me out. This is my show, right? Okay, but what was I at? I was interrupted.
Sorry, man. I was actually about to low key agree with you.
Oh, okay.
True.
But this is where you find yourself. Learn. It's when you learn what you want and what you don't want in a relationship and in a woman. Which is why, for those who are virgins, I get where you're coming from. You're giving your life to God. You saving yourself for the marriage for that one. But at the same time, I feel like you're opening yourself up to one day cheat on your wife or to be cheated on. Because
by not having fun?
Yeah.
I feel that
because think about it. You've been with one woman your whole entire life, right? And all of a sudden you wake up one day, 40, 50 years old, and it hits you. Dang, I've only been with this one woman my entire life. I don't know what's out there in California because I've never been to California. I've never been to Brazil, so I don't know what they got in Rio.
Can I be honest on this? I think this is where this whole thing kind of goes to in a way. At some point, as a man, and I think this is where we're all trying to get, if you're a virgin, if you're not a virgin, if you've been with one person, if you've been with 100 people, at some point, as a man, you have to be willing to make a decision in anything. And I think that's one thing that, we're all trying to get to the point, as young men, when you really become a man, it's when you're able to make definitive decisions.
Right. And
definitive decisions. And I think that, even though you're always going to, even if you aren't a virgin, dude, like, I mean, at the end of the day, you being a virgin is not going to stop you from wanting to cheat on your wife. If you've been with 30 people, you still could have that desire. But as a man, it's about making those definitive decisions to, I'm either going to cheat or I'm not going to cheat. So I think that at the end of the day, this whole journey is about, other than our spirituality, just from the standpoint of being a man, this whole journey is about making those definitive decisions to be able to say, I either will or I won't do this. You know what I mean? So I think that's bigger picture what it all comes to. It's not necessarily if you have, sex with 30 women or you have sex with just one. At the end of the day, if you're the type of man, and it's about perspective, if you're the type of man that decides to make a definitive decision of what you're going to do, and if you feel like you're not going to cheat on your wife, then I think at the end of the day, that's where it's about you being. It's not about what you did before you having sex or not having sex with a woman. It's about you being able to make that conscious decision that, hey, this is where I stand, this is what I'm sticking with, and this is where I'm going, and I'll live or die by it. You know what I mean? So I think that's the most important thing what it's about, to me, for sure.
And like the whole having fun thing, bro, you really gotta be careful. And we're talking about relationships. I'm talking about just relationships to life, to anything. Because we gotta understand this. Don't let one night of fun affect 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life. You know what I mean? Fun is great, don't get me wrong. But you also have to be conscious that, man, your actions gonna have consequences. Sometimes all fun ain't good fun.
Sometimes it's not.
Especially in this world. All fun is not good fun. And some have consequences that's not even going to affect you. That's going to be generational. You know what I mean? It's just like like you said about making that decision. You out there having fun, say you cheat on somebody. You know what I mean? Let's say your father did that. That's a habit that might pass on to your son. And he might do that. You know what I mean? That's something, man, like generational curses are definitely there and evident. And you really have to be mindful.
But you have to learn from it yourself.
Okay, we talked about this the other day. It said what? A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes.
Right.
So you have to. If you don't, you fall in the same pit holes that the one before you came. But is the goal to elevate or to what? Stay the same? If we're going to elevate, let's elevate and be better.
Right. Elevate to be better, but at the same time, let's say, look, I'm not in the same headspace I was 26. I'm 26. 6 years ago. I'm not the same person I am now when I was 20. And when I was 20, I was thinking a whole different. I gotta get it. I'm gonna go have my fun. But now that I'm 26, I'm like, okay, I still want to have fun, but I need to dial it down just a tad bit.
Byron has a question.
What's up?
What are wife duties versus girlfriend duties? Do you think the lines get blurred between the two?
They definitely get blurred.
What are wife duties?
All right. Ask the question one more time. Sorry.
What are wife duties versus girlfriend duties, and do you think the lines between the two get blurred?
I definitely think they get blurred. I think that these days there's nothing. I personally hear about people paying people's bills. I hear about people,
paying your bills.
Oh, I hear about people paying people's bills. I hear about people, living together, all those things. And that's, these days, man, I'm not going to lie. I feel like for some people, not me, but for some people, all those things are required. I've literally heard people say, yo, man, I've had people tell me, yeah, man, I'm paying up bills, you know what I'm saying? So she better do this or better do that. Definitely the lines are blurred. Wife duties, I think this is a question we should all answer, but I guess this was... Lamar, I'm going to let you get it first, bro. What's up?
I feel like they're so synonymous, and it's just because the reason why I'm still single is that if I'm dating married at this point. So the next person I date, the next person that's my girlfriend is going to be my wife.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just so strict and so critical about the process, and that's why I'm just not in a rush to do anything. So don't think, ladies, that I'm just some salacious dude that's just out here wilding. You know what I'm saying? I believe in the institution of marriage. I believe in love.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm doing this for me because I'm not in a rush to make any decision because that decision will be forever.
But what is that? Like the question.
So
what are
the
wife
duties
duties?
are about the same to me because I'm not just giving anybody a chance. I deal with somebody, you know what I'm saying, that's fine. But the person that's my girlfriend, everything we're doing is going to be pretty synonymous to what my wife is doing.
Yeah, but I think there are.
That's that person's
I
right.
think they're definitely asking this question probably spiritually, right? I would think.
Oh, no,
I think
because
like,
you just gotta be careful because let's say y'all been dating for 2 months, right?
Mm-hmm. That's not a girlfriend 2 months though. That's at least
No, I mean you just went official for 2 months.
Oh,
like you just went official, bam, 2 months. Do you think she should award you?
She should have you.
She should give
have a home cooked meal for you every day.
or vice versa. Do you think you should award that person with the privileges that you would give them if you had a ring on your finger?
No, because I've had a girlfriend before and I've never paid any of those bills.
I'm not
Right,
paying
but
your
if you're
bills.
my wife, you get that. Like you automatically get
Girlfriend, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, girlfriend and wife is a totally different level. I mean, we've all
that.
had.
You can always dip out.
Yeah, we've all had girlfriends, and you can dip out of a wife, but at the same time, bro, one, it's much more that you got to go through spiritually and legally and all this other stuff. But I would definitely say they are synonymous in today's society. But for me, definitely, a wife is going to do something totally different. Like you said, there's going to be home cooked meals on the table. You know, obviously in God's, you know, if I'm trying to operate in God's parameters, we're going to do everything that we can in those parameters. But, you know, at the end of the day, I feel what you're saying, that, you know, you want to see those wife qualities in your girlfriend, and that will make you her wife.
Yeah, because a
Make
lot of
you
people
your
say,
wife.
like one thing, you know, sex, especially for you.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's not going to get sex from you, but your wife will.
Yeah,
For me, I mean, that's already been happening.
It
You know what I'm
depends.
saying?
It depends.
And I don't expect the home cooked meal from her because I'm the person that likes to cook anyway, so I don't expect somebody to just have my food ready when I'm at work. I'm just not that misogynistic dude. Like, I don't need my wife to be slaving for me at home while I'm out working. That's not the way.
And she probably be working too.
You feel me?
Right.
Definitely.
So, and we had another question. This was a banger too. Right? Would you date a woman with a kid? Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, you be off the dome.
I don't mind. Like, what? Dude, hold on. Think of it. Look, I'm 26, right?
All right.
Especially in today's society, the longer I wait, the more I'm gonna run the risk of dating somebody that has a kid.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
So like, if I'm 35, and I'm still dating, I'm still out dating because at the time right now, I'm not dating to marry. I'm dating to have fun. I'm in the bachelor mind state right now. Okay, so if I'm 35, chances are and I'm still dating. Chances are the person I'm in the with, she may have a kid or two.
Probably been married before.
Right.
Probably.
That's definitely.
Can you, okay, off of that question, so I'll let y'all finish, but the next one I want is,
Bro, we
can you
can-
date somebody that's been married before?
I mean, bro, I with all of these questions, we're definitely gonna try to answer them the best we can. But understand too, like even with ourselves, everybody's journey has had ups and downs. You know what I mean? So I would definitely say that I would, if we were there, man, and you know, I think that I would take it. What's up?
On
Or
what?
A lot of different factors.
What?
Like what?
Okay. What happened in the relationship? What happened in the marriage?
It
You know
was a
what I mean?
bad marriage. It broke up.
There's a lot of different bad marriages. You know what I mean? And what was your role to play in that marriage?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like, what
agree
role
with
did
that.
you play? Did you learn from those experiences? You know what I mean? Were you married before then? Did y'all get married early? Did he hurt you? Or do you have trust issues? There's a lot of things that go with the marriage or with the kid. And I'm not saying personally I wouldn't. I probably would, but we would have to really sit there and be transparent and talk about those issues because those all affect me and affect you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you already got married or if you really have a kid, a lot of times, a lot of women are not trying to just BS and just, waste their time, right? You're serious and you need to be serious about your time. And with the kid, I also understand that I would be down with it. But I also understand that at a point, I'm always going to be second to the kid to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Which it should be because that's your kid. That's your priority. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm coming as a boyfriend role. That's your priority. I always need to come second to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until, I get that husband role and now it all levels out. But that's a lot to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, those things are not just some easy, whim decisions because they affect so much. And my whole thing, with the kid is, I think two, there's a reason, but I think at a certain point, if they have 4 kids, usually a woman's not going to want to have a
fifth.
2, 3, 4 with me. You know what I'm saying? Because she's already done that. You know what I mean? And it also depends on her baby daddy. Or
He should be out the picture.
Or the child's husband. No, I mean, he might be, he might not be.
Well,
You know
no,
what I
but yeah, because if that's his kid, well, you can.
It's
Yeah, it's been an hour, so the last cut off after an hour.
Redo it.
Yeah, just redo it. The cut off after an hour, just
you
redo it.
Yeah, swipe mine's up.
Talk about your phone.
Back on.
Why is not ready?
I would definitely say for me, yeah. If I feel like I'm ready to be with a woman that you gotta understand, like you said, women with kids, they're not interested in playing around. And me also as a man, if I'm trying to date a woman with a kid,
Don't
I can
answer
swipe it up. Like,
Did you save it?
but
Make sure you save
yeah,
make sure you
a
save
woman with a kid, I'm definitely going to, if I'm serious about dating her, like I'm going all in, because you got to understand, like you're dealing with a kid, man. You don't want to be in and out of the kid's life. You don't want to be in and out of, hopping out of their life. So definitely for me, if I'm serious about taking it there, I'm gonna go all in.
But the woman,
Yeah,
unless she's not comfortable with it,
yeah.
like she has complete power over that. She can bring it like, I'm going on this date. Grandma, can you watch my son for me? And you're not gonna ever see the kid until she gets comfortable enough to let you see him.
But then think about it. That's a hurdle too. Because say she waits 6, 7, 8 months.
But you know the kid exists.
Hold on. Say she waits 6, 7, 8 months. You meet the kid and it doesn't gel like at all.
It's just like meeting
Or
a
say
person.
I
say you meet early. Huh?
I said I still feel like that's safer than bringing somebody around the kid.
Right. But that's a chance too. Because you bring it too early, it could fall out between you and her. You know what I mean? So that's just another thing that the woman has to go through. You know what I mean? Or the man, if he.
Yeah.
But that's just another avenue that has to be taken into consideration.
Next question. Yeah, let's get
Okay.
another question.
Um,
So we get some more live.
we-
down
go
on
with the camera?
Back on
On the
live?
camera, we back on live and on the
Yeah,
camera.
it's not.
Yours not going.
I don't know why. It's just stuck on the ended thing.
Press it and go again.
Or we tell her just exit out the
Exit
app
out.
and then redo
Yeah,
that.
let's hit the question. See which one.
There was one question who was talking about. You said something about paying bills, right? Should the man? Is it the man's responsibility to pay the bills in a relationship? I'm talking these. I'm not talking about the small little nitpicky bills. I'm talking about the big ones, like the mortgage, the car insurance,
A relationship. We're talking about a marriage.
or with a marriage, a relationship,
Marriage.
right?
I'm a provider. I got.
Your battery's about to go.
Well, yeah, like I said, in a marriage, I'm just naturally at my core, I'm a provider, so I don't have a problem with that. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
Your mortgage.
I mean, my whole goal is to make that, so it's not a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. My whole thing is, if we're in a marriage and we're like 100%, like this is our domain, well, you should contribute to the mortgage too.
Yeah, I don't mind 50.
We're gonna go in this thing 50-50.
I get the concept. I'm just saying I'm a provider, so I just don't mind doing it.
Oh,
That's my drive to make so much money.
Right,
Where it's,
right,
it's
true.
not
But does that make me less of a provider because I'm splitting this big major bill with you?
I mean, not in my mind, and that's why I said that's just me. At my
Yeah.
point, you know what I'm saying? I don't fault any man for their views. You might want to do 100 her, 0
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
That's what you want to do. That's cool. Like,
That's it. I
yeah,
don't agree with that. But I mean, definitely I would say that I'm definitely, like you said, I want to be in a place to where, I definitely could provide as much as I possibly can, but at the same time, I don't think there's wrong either with women, paying those bills or us going, percentage wise, 50-50 or 20-20. You know what I mean? Like just different percentages. If you want it to be fair, it all depends on who your wife is, man. I mean, whatever views she has, whatever views you come to the table together to make, those decisions. I definitely think that it could go any type of way. It could be that you pay the big bills, she pay the little ones. It could be that she pay the little ones. Whatever, like it could go any kind of way. So
as a segue to that, could you date a woman like an Oprah who's making way more than you? She's a
great
breadwinner.
question.
The breadwinner.
Okay.
Yeah, could you date a woman who's the breadwinner in the relationship?
If I'm stepping and I got $1 million,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't mind dating. I mean, your hustle was your hustle.
Yeah.
So like
Before me.
Yeah, before me. So, that should only make me want to, try to match you at some point.
And does it affect you if you can never match it?
No, it shouldn't.
I always feel like, and vice versa too. Like I think it's more societally accepted for the man to make more money. But like I said, I think if she's maxing out and I'm maxing out in my field, I have no problem with that. I think that because your job that you have may only require you to reach a certain, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa with her. So if she's maxing out, if her max is $300,000 a year and yours is 100 G's, I mean, number one, we both doing great. But also, I mean, I'm cool with that.
How do you split that?
All right, so
Go ahead, you got that one.
I look at it like this. Mind you, to answer the question first, I don't mind it at all. I'm cool with it. Like my Brian said, as long as we maxing out and we killing the game, I'm all with it. Here's where it could come a problem, right? One, I believe we're gonna split the bill. 50% of your check is gonna go to the house. House gonna cover all the bills. So I don't care if I'm making 100,000, you making 50,000. 50% of your check is going in the bills, and then we're gonna divide it. Divide everything out from that. Okay, so you said what's the question again? You just said.
Do you mind if she's the breadwinner?
Yeah. Okay. So back on that. So. No, I don't mind, but there has to be a level of respect because a lot of times, even men think this too. Just because I pay for everything, I control everything. Yeah. I disagree with that. You know what I mean?
On both sides.
On both sides. As a man and being the leader of the house, I have to understand whose strength, like the strength, and I have to allocate based on that. So if you're the breadwinner, you killing the game and acting or whatever you're doing, right? I need to understand that, okay, you're better at this than I am. I'm going to put you in this position or I'm going to allow you or we're going to devise the dynamic of our relationship in that and I'm going to take a different role or I'm going to take a different aspect of it. But there has to be that respect. Like, if you're my wife and you're making more money and you think that gives you a right to talk to me any kind of way or to do anything you want or to just not care or not be in an actual partnership, then that's a problem. That's a problem if I do it too. Yeah. If I'm making $5 million and I come at you sideways and go, oh no, you can't do that, or you can't do this, or don't be spending my money. No, I feel like that's a problem. That's where it comes to problem.
I agree with you, and I think that one thing that in relationships these days, I think we try to control way too much stuff, especially when it comes to money and all those types of things. But I think money is too big of a factor in relationships these days. And I think that
majority of marriages end because of money.
Yeah, and I see why. Because they're...
Oh, can I see her?
There you go. But I definitely...
we have a charger.
Yeah, we have chargers right there. We have chargers if you want to pull one out. But
save it for me.
No, I definitely think that money is too big of a factor in these relationships these days. And I think that, at times people look at money as like that's one of the first things I feel like we look at when we're trying to choose people in society these days. I feel
you
like
gotta have that talk. Though.
You definitely gotta have that talk, but I don't think it should be like the highest thing on the list because at the end of the day, man, like we could have this picture perfect one. I think these days, we see all the stuff on Twitter. You want a man or you want a woman that does this, and you make this like checklist, but that may not be the best person for you because think about it. Jobs that make a lot of money, you ain't gonna be with them every day. Like you sacrificing something. Like if you got a woman that's an actress, if you got Halle Berry or somebody like that, you ain't seeing Halle every time you come home from work. Right. Halle gone for 5 months. You know what I mean? Or a doctor or whoever, man. Like a UPS driver, they ain't home often. You know what I mean? So. Like stuff like that, you gotta look at really what you're sacrificing. Because if money is something that you go into a relationship and think that this is why I want to be with this person, I promise you that can backfire on you. If you
here's the thing: do you want someone that has a lot of time, or do you want someone that has a lot of money? Because if you want no, I'm going off what you're saying. Because if you want someone that has a lot of time, that's always around, he's catering to you and everything, he's always around. Chances are he may not have a lot. He probably have a lot of money. But if you got someone who makes that 7-figure salary, whatever, chances are he ain't gonna have all that time to be around with you.
And I agree with you, but I think at a certain time, enough should be enough. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna be real. If I'm making, say I'm an NFL player, right? All right, cool. I'm home every week because you may not be home on weekends, but you're home every week because you're practicing and stuff.
Right.
If it's to the point where I'm making that type of money, I don't need to be a billionaire. So I think, at a certain point, it's enough. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to have, if I got $30 million, I don't really need 200. I don't. I'm going to be honest. Like, that's just me. I have more money. If I could live off what I'm living off now, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm Gucci. So I don't have to be making this crazy amount of money or being a billionaire. I think, like Chris said, it's a balance. Because there are people that make a husband that makes 100,000, a wife that makes 120, you know what I mean? And they're living good, enjoying a good life. I think we all would be cool with somebody that made 120 G's. So I mean, at a certain point, there's a balance. Now there's a cap to that, I'm sure, but at the same time, there's a point where I feel like as a human being, you should have enough of everything. I think that's something that everybody doesn't have, but we should all have that for sure.
Byron, do you feel a prenup is necessary and everyone should weigh in on this?
They always Chris likes this question. Let me just ask.
Prenup, definitely.
It was posted to Byron, but everyone.
Do I feel like a prenup is necessary? I have mixed views on that. I'm gonna be real because I think that you really have to know who you're marrying. It depends on that person's views. I'm not gonna lie. I must have got something funny.
Yeah, must have got something.
I don't know. What, the face?
It's his face.
Oh, yeah. But I knew he was going to make a face. But I'm not necessarily saying that I do believe in it. Do I think I would do it? I don't know. To be honest. I can't necessarily say. I think it depends on. I'm going to back out of this question. Because I don't really know. I'm going to be honest. That's always been an up and down subject for me because it depends on who my wife is. But
I definitely believe in prenup.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
Somebody commented on your live said that the 50-50% is like, it sounds like more of like a roommate-ish.
No, it's a partnership. It's a partnership.
Yeah, it's a partnership.
At the end of the day, I'm finna go law school on you. Marriage is a contract. At the end of the day.
Anyway, yes.
But yeah, like I
Answer
mean,
that question and prenup question.
so yeah, I'm gonna hit that next. So like, it's not about in terms of like a roommate thing. I look at it like this, especially like we're in a marriage. Like, this is a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. If 50% of our income is going into the house, man, like there's things that we shouldn't have to worry about, and I think that's the most fairest way to do it.
Yeah.
Because even if you make 50,000, 50% of your check is going into the house. Now I'm not saying you pay for all the big bills. I'm saying all the bills that we have, they come out the house money.
Yeah.
50% goes into the house money. That's just, I feel like, me personally, I just feel like that's the best plan. Hey, if my wife can come up with a different plan, then I want to hear it. Let's roll with it. But until then, as of now, I think that's the best plan for me. Going into the prenup thing, I believe in it. I don't see nothing necessarily wrong with it. I think it depends on why you're doing it, why you're getting it. I don't think it's like, if you're getting it, even in subconsciously, if you're getting it like, oh man, this might not work out, then no. Then you shouldn't even get married to that person. Like, that's how I feel. But if you're getting it like, oh, okay, like for an example, Gabrielle Union got married to Dwayne Wade. I don't know, but maybe they should have got a prenup because they both have their separate brands, right? And they had long before they got married. You don't want anything to affect your kids or the people you plan on, paying forward or anything like that. So I don't think it's like just a stroke saying, oh, you don't believe this marriage is going to work out. I think if you're doing it for like your brand or there's legitimate reasons why you have a prenup, I don't think there's necessarily wrong with that. You know what I mean? But it all comes down to the motive and why you're doing it.
Because there's women out there that do finesse.
And
men out there that finesse too. So it protects you. It protects yourself from being finessed.
But then, if that's the case, I feel like to a certain extent, you didn't do your due diligence on who you're planning on marrying.
People are really good nowadays.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
But if you're coming with the discernment of God, I mean,
Rob fell for it.
Oh, no, he knew
Rob
that.
who?
He should have Kardashian. That's not
Come on now. Let's just say I don't know if God was in there.
I mean, we got another question on the live? What we got? Let's interact with the live.
Okay, so now, how does the 50-50 partnership happen when your wife buys expensive things without your permission?
No, hold on. I can answer that one.
if she's using her money, if she's using her money, like at minimum, there should be 3 accounts in the household: mine, yours, house. Right? If we're doing 50% of our income into the house, right, that leaves you with another 50 for yourself. So if you want to go buy that Louis bag that you own, that you had your eyes on, that costs 3 racks, then you should be able to do it as long as you're using your money.
I think it depends. Me personally, I think it depends on what you're spending it on. I feel like there has to be a cap, and it works both ways. There has to be a cap. I don't care if it is your money. There has to be a cap that you have to consult me about it. Like, I don't need, like, even if you have $500,000 in your bank account just to blow, I don't need you, man. We got 4 cars already. I don't need you to be like, oh, I like the new Benz, so I'm gonna just get it.
Well, you're a car enthusiast.
I don't. No. But you should be able. You should be able to talk. We have to talk about that. That's a car. You're buying something that affects the whole. You're not buying a bag. You're not. Certain bags. Hey, you're not. Yeah, certain bags. But you're not just gonna buy something that's like $100, $200, $300, $400,000, which is without consulting me. I'm not saying you need permission.
Yeah.
I'm just saying consulting. And if I do the same thing, I like shoes and stuff. I shouldn't have to be like, oh, babe, $250 for some shoes. I don't pay that. But you know what I mean? Like, that shouldn't be a problem. But if it gets to like, hey man, I'm about to blow, $500,000 on this. Yeah, I got it. And I can't even blink an eye. I won't even blink an eye from it. I still feel like, she's my wife. She deserves me to at least consult her about it.
Do you feel like, and I guess that was my next question, do you feel like there should always be consultation in purchases in marriage?
Not all purchases.
No.
It's a limit.
Here's my thing. Right now, we're talking about butter, right?
All right, Melvin.
So we're talking about butter. Spending money on butter. So if I want to go spend some money on some guns,
I'm about to say explain.
Yeah.
All right.
They might not have seen Baby Boy. You know what I'm saying?
non-BET crew. Do it quick. I should drop the link. So guns are appreciable assets like real estate, stocks, bonds. Butter is all the depreciable assets like cars, Louis bags, Jordans. Those are depreciable assets.
Depreciates
In value. So I should consult my wife that I'm gonna go buy this real estate property.
Yes,
because that's coming out of my money, not the house money.
Yes. Hold on, stop. Good example. What if something happens to you and she doesn't know anything about it, and there's no way that she can get to it? So you do have to consult her in a way because God forbid, but if you die right there after you buy it and you didn't ask her about it, tell her about it, like nothing, she's gonna be.
I'll be able to afford me a Lamborghini, meaning that it doesn't set me back. I'm using disposable income to buy this car.
You got a lot of disposable income.
I mean, there's Lamborghinis out there that cost less than $200.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Rich.
what she tells me, no, you can't get that car.
But what is her reasoning behind it?
Yeah.
If her reasoning is honestly good, like a legit reason behind it, then I feel like
we're not in debt.
Because if you wait that long, you can wait another year.
Exactly.
Right. We're not in debt.
That's not the point. But
that's the thing. Like you said earlier, it's just about putting you on notice. Not necessarily, you're not gonna make a decision yes or no. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not gonna
It's
control
just-
it.
it's
You
just
just
letting
put
you
them on
know.
notice.
And I guess, like what? If I feel like if you've been with her that long and she knows all those things about it, that's your wife. She's gonna know you wanted a Lamborghini since you was a kid. You gonna bring that up. You know what I mean? So I think that she's definitely gonna say. She's probably gonna say, yeah. If you're at the place where you can buy, if you can buy 10, 15 Lamborghinis, I don't think she would have a problem with that. You know? So, but I think there's nothing wrong with consulting. I think we want to have this mindset. I'm grown, but the first thing that needs to leave in a successful marriage is selfishness. So there has to be some consultation. Consultation is different from asking, but even in some cases, I don't think there should be anything wrong with you asking or
there's nothing. That's
like
pride.
Yeah, that's pride. Like
you shouldn't have a problem with asking your wife for something, and she shouldn't have a problem with asking you for something. Regardless who makes more or who's more, who is the leader of the relationship, you shouldn't have a problem with that. Because at the end of the day, that's your wife. You know what I mean? It's not just so
a random chick.
Yeah, it's not a random. Like
wife.
you're building a wife. You're building a life with her.
You married this. Think about this.
You married her, right? You made that decision.
You married this woman.
And if you can't trust her with your decisions, or to be honest and transparent with your decisions, you might not have married the right one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Lamont, you got a question. For all the guys, would you be insecure being with a woman who is constantly surrounded by good-looking, successful men? For example, if your partner is an actress and she has a sex scene with her.
Oh, we talking about some power stuff right there. I mean, nah, honestly, because at the end of the day, I'm secure in myself, and then I know what kind of bond we got. At the end of the day, I know it's just a job. Now, if she's coming home talking about, oh boy, the steamy scene and this and this and this and that, then I mean, that objectively shows that, you know, there might be an issue there. But if that's just that, and we good, I mean,
Okay, so you say at the end of the day, it's just a job, right? So what if she was a porn star or a stripper?
I'm not gonna marry a porn star stripper.
Yeah.
It's levels and it's
Just levels. There's a way to do.
When she was an actor and she had a sex scene. It's like, wow.
Because she's for 90% of her job,
I mean,
she's
porn
not
is
having
acting.
sex scenes. 90% of her job, she's acting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With a prostitute, 100% of her
Nah,
job.
if,
Not
nah, if
prostitute,
she,
porn
nah, if
star.
she's having all movies with sex scenes every single time she has a movie, I mean, god dog, like, I'm gonna be like, yo, alright. Like,
But I mean, I don't think me personally, I'm not really insecure about
Yeah, I'm
like
not-
stuff
yeah,
like that.
that's
I'm cool with it because you know I feel like I match up pretty well. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. No. But on a serious note, it's like I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? As long as, like you said, she conducts herself in the right way. You know, she's not like, you know, out there talking about it when she get back and just like flaunting and stuff like that. I want her to be great at her craft. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna stifle her her success to a certain extent. You know, with you know. But I expect her to tell me. I don't want to just be like on the
Nah, that's
screen
it.
watching
Yeah.
TV and just be like, oh, babe, you can tell me you're in the sex scene with, you know, Shamara Moore. Like, you know what I mean? I at least want to know about it.
find out on
the
premiere day.
Hey, do we have any other questions before we
Before we go to the next
No,
question,
yeah.
like, we're all good?
No. How do you feel if your wife cheats?
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get
We're gonna get to that. We're
there.
gonna get to that.
Let's get to that.
Okay. The rite of passage.
Okay.
All right. And we all know what the rite of passage is. For those who don't know what the rite of passage is when a young man is growing up and he's talking to all his older men in the family, older OGs, you know, his dad, his uncles, older brothers, cousins, or whatever, and they talking, they coaching them on, on the game, right?
Yep.
So, why? And so they ask the question is, why is being a player celebrated in society from a man's perspective?
I think because it's
It's a big one.
why is it celebrated? I think just because it's
Oh, why did we do it?
why do we do it? I think it's just in our nature, but I think it's celebrated because it's easy. It's easy to do whatever
It gives you
want.
cred though.
It gives
It
you
gives
credit,
you
but it's
all for sports.
yeah, it's all for
Some
sport.
men do it for sport.
It's easy though to be that guy. You know what I mean? It's easy to not commit. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
It's easy, like I said earlier,
It's
not to make.
it's almost like every guy is out here hunting.
I mean, yeah, it's
And you know, like
it's just easier to make.
if you ever been hunting before, if you kill the buck with the biggest antlers, you bragging about that.
Yeah.
You know, you gonna like, man, look, check out what I just bagged. That was a weird comparison to women, but okay.
So,
Which woman?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Compared to
like
others.
although we do that, I don't think it's right. You know what I
No.
mean? Because generationally, like you said, if that's the game you're passing down, you're to an extent conditioning that person to think like that.
Absolutely.
And let's not be naive to think once you say I do, although that thought process and mindset just leave. No, that's still going to be in your head. So if you've been taught since your whole life, oh, I need to get girls, I need all these women, bro, it's not just going to leave you when you get married. You know what I mean? So I think we need to change, the way we pass down the game.
Yeah.
Now, I understand you got to see, how to get women, understand the dynamics of, like, developing a relationship with a woman. I completely understand that. And that's what dating's for, to meet new people, to see how it goes.
Yeah.
But in terms of, like, bagging women and stuff like that to get you more stripes on your shirt, I don't think that's really a smart way, because now you have a mindset of doing that.
Yeah.
And we talk about why people cheat so much in today's society. I think that, especially
that's
men,
definitely
that's a real big thing, because you're taught that over and over and over. And a lot
They
of
don't
times,
teach you to cheat.
No,
but no, subconsciously they do.
Subconsciously
Subconsciously they do, because you're always wanting the next woman, the next this, the next this, the next this. So when you don't like somebody, you be like, oh, well, I'll just dip out.
And the word commit never comes up.
Right, never. And you rarely see this.
But once
especially in the
that man
black
is ready,
community.
he will sell.
No, it doesn't click like that. You can't
It's
just
not
turn it
just
off.
that easy.
You know what I mean? And like you said, just like,
It's called growing up.
Well, I think there are habits that you build definitely when you
We're
grow
creatures
with-
of habit.
Yeah, and like we said, man, you see it all the time. You see dudes that, you know, and I'm sure we've seen this, like guys that propose. And you like, oh, you know what I mean? Because you was just around homie last night or the week before. You know what I mean? And it's dudes that's married but doing their thing still. You know what I mean? And I think, man, I'm gonna be real. That's so accepted these days in society, dog. Like, and especially like we talk about when it comes to that success and people of power, bruh. It's so like turn the other cheek with it. Like people just literally like feel like people almost to the point feel like, you know, if you just so happen to be a married dude that's successful, that cheating things comes with it. And
do you think that comes because of the exposure they have? They have so many more opportunities for it to happen that it makes it a little bit harder for them. Is that?
Yeah.
Do you think that's?
I think that
it's different though, because if we just walking around right here, we might have 10 girls throwing it at us.
Yeah.
But if we're on main,
if you're on that stage, you got 100,000 people setting themselves up. What was that? Wilt the Still. He had females already checked into his hotel without him even knowing. They got into his hotel. He come back home again. You know,
and this is why I think, you know, the people you surround yourself with is so important.
Yep.
Me personally, how I am, man, especially if like we really cool. I know for Brian, just for example, I know, man, if he's with a girl or whatever like that, and he's like really committed, especially if he's especially with his wife, and I catch him even leaning towards cheating, I'm gonna check him.
Absolutely.
Like I'm gonna check him immediately because that's not acceptable. Period. You know, and I expect him to do the same with me. I feel like a lot of times as men, you know, we almost celebrate or we look the other way to some of our best friends. Why would I want you to cheat on your wife and because think about it, if you can cheat on your wife, right? Your wife, the person you're building life with,
capable of doing
man, to anything to me, and we supposed to be just boys. That means when you know the stuff hit the fan, you might go left, and you cheating on your wife. So no, I need to know that you have enough character, especially if you're gonna be in my circle, enough character and integrity to be like, no, I made a decision, I made a commitment to this woman. I'm standing by that. Come hell or high water, whatever that takes. And yeah, it might be hard. I'm not saying, you know, relationships and marriage is gonna be easy, but no, man, you have to stand firm on that. And if you need a little help for me to keep you in check, I'm there. That's what I'm here for. Iron sharpens iron, and that means everything in every aspect of life.
Yeah, I would say definitely it comes down to who you're surrounded with. Now, when you're growing up, you can't necessarily control that yourself. You know what I mean? But there comes a time where we all are able to make conscious decisions, and you recognize when something is right or wrong. It's up to you then to make whatever decision that you feel is necessary for you to make. If you feel like you still want to make wrong decisions, then that's what you're going to do. But if you feel like you're ready to make, you know, more positive decisions, then you need to be around some people that are going to help you make those more positive decisions. Because if you're talking about you want to be faithful, but all your homies always cheating, bruh, you can sit there and think you're the most strong-minded person in the world. At some point, that's going to become acceptable. Whatever you see around you, it's going to seem more.
You're the sum total of the 5 people you hang with.
Yes, and more than 5. You know what I mean? Like what you see, period. So I mean, bro, at the end of the day, like I said, when you're able to make those decisions, you definitely have to check yourself. And like I said, bro, like I just think for me, that's where it comes down to is decisions, bro. Like, are you willing to make the decisions to better yourself in every way? And just like we talking about, physically, spiritually, mentally. If you're around people, if you want to work out, if you're around people that don't ever work out, and always eating food and always, you know, eating everything, bro, you ain't gonna get in shape. You could try, but you ain't nobody to spot you. You ain't nobody to spot you. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing with marriage. Like if I'm married and all I'm doing is hanging around my single guy friends and all they going to is going to the club, you think you're gonna have a like? Now I'm not saying you could have a sexual marriage, but you have like. It's like you're pulling against each other, you know what I mean? But if you're married, that's why you see a lot of married couples hanging around with married couples. Because it's like, oh man, you see what I'm going through, we can bounce things off and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So that's why you really have to be careful about
So that means when you get married, you know, you're gonna cut ties with your
but your behavior will change.
Yep.
Like you can't just do everything. You know what I mean? We have a guy, one of our best friends is married.
We don't see him as
often.
And it's not nothing wrong with that. It's just
because we know at the end of the day he's married. He's
because when I get married,
wasn't he also like introverted?
No, I mean he hung around us. Yeah. But at the end of the day, he's with his wife, and I gotta respect that, bro. Like I can tell you now, if I'm married, I'm not gonna be clubbing, hanging with my dogs. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be times, but like say if we go to Vegas or something like that, I'm not necessarily gonna be so hyped to go to Vegas with my single friends. Now if we're married, You know what I mean? Well, hey,
gonna
that's
do a
gonna be
whole,
dope.
you know.
We're probably gonna do more of a couples thing together, but understand, dog, when you make that commitment, it's just some things you gotta check off your list if you want it to work. If you want it to be raggedy, then yeah, you can go hang around your single friends, married friends, whoever you want to, but you gotta start checking some things off your list if you trying to make that type of commitment.
Because I mean, y'all know me. Hey, once I say I do, y'all ain't gonna see me for
like 5 months. So
like 5 months. I'm gonna be pretty busy. So and it's just that's what you're gonna be doing. You know what I mean? And it's not saying we are not boys and we not chilling and everything, but you just have a different priority.
It was like when we was playing ball in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my best friend, but he doing his thing. You know, day games, I'm doing my thing. When we see each other, we come back home. It's all love. Like, y'all play ball. Like, we know. Like, when we get back home, it's up.
Right,
It's all love. But understanding when
I can't talk to you.
Yeah, this is business. I'm doing what I got to do. Now, if I need you, if I absolutely need you, or vice versa, I'm there for you. You my brother.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you ain't gonna be on the phone when you married with your boy every day. I would hope not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so definitely.
That's
like,
weird. Anyway, so next question we're gonna get into it. Oh, why do men cheat?
There's a bunch of
Why do
reasons.
people cheat?
Why do people cheat? Because it's
We kind of touched on it though. The whole
talking
systematic thing. I think that has a big thing because it's a mindset. I think that has a big thing to play in it. You know what I mean? If you've been taught time after again, oh, you need to get as many women as you can. We're creatures of habit. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be hard to break those things. You know what I mean? My thing, the reason why I believe men cheat is because they're outpacing their partner.
No.
Maybe in a few cases. I don't think you can say because men
honestly,
cheat like
dog, men cheat for more than one reason.
Right?
And two,
of course.
we cheat because we greedy. Like, if we cheat, it's because we can't control ourselves and we feel as though
get away with it.
Yeah, or we just feel like, or we just don't have no respect for. It's a million reasons. It's
Most of the time, it's not anything wrong with it.
Yeah, it's a lot of times it's not. It's just because, bro, like, a dude can have the perfect woman. I mean, we see it all the time. Like, if it's a dude that, I mean, it's a chick that you see, yeah, straight up. Like, what could you possibly say, you know what I'm saying, about, like, what could Jay-Z say that Beyonce does not have? And I'm not trying to single out Jay, shout out, Rock, but I'm just saying,
it could be something that symbols the things that Beyonce's not doing.
But
I don't know what she's not doing. Hey, this guy here.
Hey, bro, that's that man White. Chill out, yo.
I'm just sticking up for her. You know what I mean? Like,
you love her,
she ain't got it. Nothing. She's got
love her,
right? I mean, that's Beyonce.
You love her, bro?
That's Beyonce.
Chill out.
No, but I'm playing. Go, keep going.
But no, I think that it's a million reasons that guys cheat.
But if you're getting bored with your partner,
then
you should sit there and talk to that person. Like, that's your, like I'm saying, that's your wife, bro.
You don't think that's gonna happen in a
That's
marriage?
your wife. I'm talking about, okay, so
you don't think that's gonna happen in a marriage?
This is not just about me.
We talking about relationship.
Okay, so hold on. If that's the case, bro, it's your decision to be in a relationship. I feel like if you even have the inclination of like, oh man, I might cheat, and you always thinking about other women, bro, you need to sit down and have that talk with that person, bro. Like, why not just leave?
Yeah. Or why not just say how you feel? Because maybe the problem could be corrected.
Right.
Or whatever it may not be a problem. It's a lot of times, dog.
It's
It's
just
just
you.
you.
Right.
Like, it's just you and where you at. You may just be too scary to really take yourself there. You feel me?
I feel like it's cowardly to cheat and not to be upfront with that person and be like, yeah, baby, I know I've been thinking about something. I know nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah,
I know that's not an easy conversation.
So what is cheating?
Man, honestly, bro, anything you wouldn't want your partner to know that you did. And people try to do that.
Okay,
stop. I'm going to get there, bro. Anything that you would delete or you would not want them to know, that is cheating. That could be, and I'm going to say it because we on IG, that could be DM, that could be text, that could be a screenshot, yo. Like, it could be anything. Anything that you feel like your partner wouldn't know. If your partner grabbed your phone and was about to look at it, you over there sweating and stuff, if you feel like that was, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like you wouldn't want them to know that, that's cheating. And it does not have to be physical, no. And dudes, I know y'all don't like to hear that, but I don't care. Because at the end of the day, bro, I'm just giving game.
You can do these things without being emotionally tied to this other person.
Do you want them to know? Do you want them to know?
Do I want them to know what?
Would you want your girl to know you DM other women?
Yeah, without being emotionally tied.
Right.
Like you said. If you won't be taking
Nyron is getting so many claps right now.
Men have sexual
Everyone.
prostitutes.
Hey, shout out, yo, but I'm just being real, man. We gotta protect the ladies.
Men have sex with prostitutes and not have any emotion behind it.
Real true.
Right.
Prostitute.
Ooh, they make money, so somebody pays them.
They gotta get paid.
Chris.
Is it off that?
Man,
it's hot.
it is getting hot.
I'm glad I got this towel, but God, no.
You can read his own to you.
How do you deal with your girlfriend or your wife being like raped or beaten or whatever in the past?
Ooh, man.
Somebody knew you.
Okay, well, before we get into that, what was the question?
How
You answer that by yourself. Don't let them.
How do you deal with your girlfriend or wife being raped or beaten in the past? Like,
I never
let
did
him
something
answer
like that. So.
Because he said it's something that he would need to know about, so they're asking
Yeah.
how
I mean,
how do you deal with it.
okay, I
How would you
think
deal with it?
honestly, and it's crazy because I found out this in college, man. It happens so much more. From a guy's perspective, it happens so much more than you would even think. Like, when I got to college, I was like, man, it's all these stories on things. That probably never happened, you know what I mean? But as I started talking to some women, I was like, bro, this stuff really be happening, you know what I mean? Now, mind you, that's a very serious thing. And how do I deal with it? It has to be, especially when I just found out and I'm dating a person, it has to be through love and through grace.
Yeah.
Like, because I understand, you're not what happened to you, and God's grace covers all of that, you know what I mean? Now, mind you, that is a hard, thing to get over, and I understand that you have to have love, you have to have patience, you have to have understanding, empathy. There's a lot of things that you have to have with that. So, I don't know. I would have to really pray about that. I would have to, we would have to pray about that, me and her, because that's a hard situation to, overcome and to be in a relationship with somebody with.
Yeah, because I read an article and it was talking about the different levels of rape, and one of them was like if you're having sex with a condom on and the guy slips it off.
Absolutely, yo.
I didn't know that was a rape.
It's intrusive.
I did not. Well, because you're already having sex.
But
Okay,
imagine
but
you have STD.
what?
She didn't consent to you taking
Exactly.
the condom off. You know what I'm saying? She consented. She wanted to have sex with you with the condom on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like.
Okay, so even if you didn't have that STD,
That's still rape.
both people knew they didn't have an STD. We didn't have an
You
STD.
know well about informed consent.
Mhm.
There's certain things that
Bro,
you
it's some
wouldn't
people
do.
that do not know nothing and they don't try to know and they just wow.
People don't care, bro.
And they don't care, bro. It's people. Let's not sit here and act like there's not sick people in this world. You know what I mean? Like we see this stuff every day online, yo. Like it's people that you couldn't even fathom the type of stuff that they think. So I definitely. That's definitely cheating. And while we on the subject of that, bro, I definitely think that is something that, we gotta understand that I think as guys, we may feel as though, it has to be a certain thing for it to be, rape or abuse. Bro, if a woman feels as though she's like taken advantage of or anything like that, that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? And if it's your boy or somebody that that's doing that, teammate, whatever, bro, you're complicit in that. You feel me? Like you drove the car in the robbery. You feel me? Like you that dude. So you gotta understand, bro. At the end of the day, that's our job, bro. Like we should take that personally to want to protect women and take care of them. So if your homie or anybody is acting up, you feel me? You gotta step to them like a man, dog, and be like, hey,
It ain't going down.
that's not going down.
Period.
Right. Straight up.
Okay. So, can you love someone and cheat on them at the same time?
Yeah, you can. If you don't look at relationship love as different from love of your family. You love your mom or whatever, or you love your sister, but you still do them wrong. So you can definitely do something. You can do something wrong. You're not acting in love at that point, but you definitely.
What I think this question is going off is because it's different for a guy to have sex than it is for a woman to have sex. Because when they say women have sex, it's more emotional ties to the guy. But for a guy we can have sex and and not speak to the girl not ever again.
But they can too.
They can too. But for a women are more emotionally tied when they participate in that activity.
I agree with you in a way.
So could you love someone and still cheat on them, but come back and say, yo, it's just sex? Like no. I'm a like baby boy, all right?
Jody,
right? Can you? How do you say it again?
I lie to you because I love you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about what you just said. So we're basing our relationship on Jody? Come on now. I really hope not. But like, I think you can because, let's be honest. We say we love God,
but yet we sin against him every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think you can. But I don't think it should be acceptable at all. And if you're the woman or the man that's getting cheated on, man, me personally, I think you got one shot. If you slip up with that once and you do it again, oh no, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Because obviously I told you that's not okay. We understand we built from that and then you did it again. So at that point, you're making a deliberate decision to do that. You know what I mean? You know better. So like, just don't. I mean, you say, oh, it doesn't have, you saying when men could just, have sex and just not care. I disagree with that, because if you're just having sex with another person or another woman, that means there's something in you that doesn't desire your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. That's a problem. Why are you with her?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a problem. That's a really big problem. So I think you can do it. I don't think it's right, and I don't think it should be accepted at all.
Someone asked, is that the difference between love and being in love? Being able to cheat. You say that you're cheating.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I would say in a way, because I think love is really when it's like real and it's like you absolutely, this is the person that you can't live without. Now, I do think you can still make bad decisions and mistakes, but I think that very few people unlock that level of love. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's a lot of people that's married, but it's not a lot of people that's truly like they love that person. You know what I mean? Like, marriage and love is different. I think we see that every day, man. You see people get married for so many reasons that people are reluctant to get married because they're like, man, is love even real? But I think if there's a level of love that you're trying to reach, yeah, it's way different than just being in love and infatuated with somebody at that moment.
And not only that, I feel like a lot of people in this world, in today's society, don't even know what love is.
No.
Like,
I don't know what love is.
well, let me.
I'm 20. You gotta break it down to me.
Okay.
you have a question.
Hold on. Let me knock this out real quick, because I don't want to, leave. A lot of people don't understand like what really love is. You know what I mean? I feel like we talking about love and getting cheated on and stuff like that. I feel like it's impossible to love somebody without knowing God.
Okay.
It's literally, God is love. It's impossible to love somebody without loving God. Because, to be able to extend, we say unconditional love, right? We say that a lot. But if you understand what really unconditional love means, I don't care what you do to me. What you do, I'm still going to love you. That's what God says. I don't care what you do, I'm always going to love you. You can sin against me for the rest. I'm always going to love you still. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't know God, if you don't have that live, that present relationship with God, you cannot extend that. So I cannot expect that if you don't have that. You know what I mean? You don't have that to give.
Okay, so my whole thing is, I'm 26. I've never been in love. Okay. So I don't know how to recognize when I fall in love, or the fact that how to even really truly give it.
But here's the thing: you say wait,
hold on. And what I would need for my wife, my future wife, to do is literally shock the hell out of me. To like, yo, you're the only one I see myself with.
And I get you.
And I feel like that's what the woman's job is for.
And hold on. I feel you in terms of, I never experienced love and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you said, I never fell in love. Love is a choice. Love doesn't just happen.
And it's a daily.
It's a daily choice, bro. Like every single day, you have to wake up and choose. I'm gonna love this person.
Okay.
I'm gonna die to myself, die to my flesh, and I'm gonna choose to love to you. You know what I mean? That's why people say, I fell out of love. We just grew apart. No, it's a choice daily, and you made a decision not to extend that love and not to express that love to that person. Okay. It's gonna get hard.
Because when you love somebody for sure, the days when you don't feel like it, you still gonna choose that.
Whoever told you that love is easy, hold on. I'm just saying. I mean, in any aspect, they lie. Whoever tell you love doesn't hurt, they lie. Jesus loved us. Jesus loved us more than anybody, but yet he died on the cross. He took them whips. He did everything he had, and that's what love is. Love hurts. You know what I mean? But you have to still wake up and choose that. Some days, you see, and that's why I say, like, a lot of people, we go off of emotions. Because I don't feel like, loving you. I don't feel like talking to you. I'm just not. Or I'm going to go out and step out or do this or do that. Because I'm not feeling your love. Or you're not stroking my ego. You're not doing something. You know what I mean? Man, you have to, at that point, we talking about being in a relationship, or especially being married, you made a commitment.
You know, that's not just based off of your feelings. They're gonna be days, let's relate to football. There's days, you know, you don't feel like working out.
Other than like the first date and game day, you never.
There be days you don't feel like working out, but you know, hey, if I don't work out, I'm not gonna be ready. I'm not gonna have that edge.
And if you're not what? You're not committed.
You're not committed. You know what I mean? It's just like that, bro. Every time hey man, I feel dog tired. You know, I'm tired, man. But hey, I gotta get this work in. I gotta love my wife. I gotta love the person I'm in a relationship with. I know it's hard. I know it's gonna hurt. I know it ain't stroking my ego. I know she's going through some things that I'm not really feeling. I know she don't know how to love.
Each other right now.
Right. I know she might not even know how to receive my love. But if I'm making that decision to love her, man, I'm loving her. You know what I mean?
Who you finna
Hey,
say?
go ahead.
I was just saying, how can you expect her to shock you without any engagement from you? Like you have to.
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah,
not saying
so
I'm not
engaged
going to engage
in
engage in a relationship. But I mean, for women, I feel like you should be. Your job is to I'm not like any other girl you met, so you're gonna want to be with me.
But
how hard does she have to like prove to you that you want to that you need to be in love with her? Like, what does she have to do to like?
Maybe it'll help you. Byron got a question.
What was my question?
What is the defining moment that you know you're in love? Maybe that'll help you.
like
What's my
okay.
question?
No, that's for him, but
so
maybe it'll help you.
Are they? I hope they answer back quickly. Do you mean like in love or like just unconditional love? Like, you know what I mean? Like just.
She says in love.
Man, I would say when you just don't want anybody else. I think for me, historically, I haven't been married. You know, I've never been like to where I'm trying to get there. But for me, historically, like when I fell in love with women, it's been when I literally, man, I don't care who the girl is. You know what I mean? Like she the only girl I want to talk to. She's the only girl that I want to have a conversation with. It doesn't matter if 30 women stood at my door naked. You know what I mean? Like she's the woman that I want at that time. So I would say just when you realize that that's who you want, no matter the circumstance. So that's the best answer I can give you. But I appreciate the question.
Okay.
Oh, next question.
All right. So next question is.
We definitely.
For Mr. I like to have fun. How does he? I'm just reading what was posted. How does he explain his intentions to women, or does he do it up front? I have friends who have dated guys that told them they did not want a relationship, but continue to court them anyway.
That's big.
Let me cool you off. They hit you with that hot stuff.
It is hot. Are we getting towels?
Really?
So say it again for me.
How do you explain do you explain your intentions to women, or do you do it up front?
Mm-hmm.
She's had friends who dated guys that told them they didn't want to be in a relationship but continued to court them anyway.
Okay. You gotta be upfront. If you want to live a bachelor lifestyle like how I live, you gotta be upfront. You gotta be
Boy, you just
upfront.
incriminated just. I told you plead the fifth. But go ahead.
I mean, I'm being for real.
Hey,
I'm
you
being
being
honest.
real though, you being
I'm a
real.
bachelor, so I'm not looking for a wife right now. I'm looking to date to have fun. So if the girl I'm with, if she's not okay with that, then sweetie, then you have to stop, because I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop living my life just for you. Not at this moment in time, no.
Okay, that's
So like I gotta tell you that. Look,
Do you tell them though?
I do tell him. I gotta tell him. I tell him I'm good. Appreciate it though. I gotta tell him that that I'm not interested in a relationship right now. And I'm just dating to have fun. Cause you would be surprised actually how many women are okay with that sometimes.
Yeah, they are. We have any other questions?
Hope I answered your questions.
We getting close to wrapping it up.
Next question. How long? What happened?
Lamar got a question. Why do you feel you aren't ready to date? Is that why you're so quiet?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you might be coming on a little late. I did speak my whole piece about that. That's not why I'm quiet. These questions have been tailored to them. But I feel like
we focus on school right now.
I'm focused on building myself first, and like I said a little bit earlier,
All right, so our next question is how long will you wait to have sex with women
who you have strong feelings for? I don't think this goes for you because you're waiting till marriage, so.
It's forever. So.
You
No,
gonna-
not forever. No,
Hold on, you gonna be the 40-year-old virgin out here? Please, we gonna let Lamont take that question. Ooh.
What was it?
How long will you wait to have sex with a woman who you have strong feelings for?
Now, my thing is, if a woman tells me to wait, I don't have a problem with waiting. That's cool. I can wait. I'm also not trying to put myself through any type of mental torture. So, I mean, I'm not just finna say out like, oh, we gotta wait a year. I'm cool with the whole 90-day rule. 3 months, that's
3 months,
fine.
cool,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Just to build
But she
something.
tell you that you gonna be with me, you gotta marry me.
Well, and that's for me. Like, if she gives me a number, I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
If I'm really interested in her,
Mhm.
I'm really worth pursuing. It doesn't matter the number. That's fine. I can adjust. But I'm saying, me personally, it probably wouldn't be more than 90 days.
For
Okay.
me, she sets the precedent.
I agree with that.
Honestly, whatever she says, if I'm like you said, if I'm not interested in her, bro, I'm willing to wait. That's not something that you know, it's important, but it's not everything to me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And if I'm that interested in her, chances are it's something about her that's drawing me to her that much to where I want to really commit. Like I'm willing to wait however long she desires me to do that.
So, after she gives you her number, are you willing to wait or move on?
wait.
What do you mean? Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
we both just
Right.
said
Yeah. So like, okay. So if she says
Oh,
like
absolutely.
5 years,
Why would she set like a number like that?
Yeah, that's more like marriage. Than
Yeah,
more like
that's
I'm
like-
waiting to-
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I be with that.
but I mean, I can speak from my perspective, but like
It ain't happening.
right? No, but from like a different perspective on that aspect,
You
like
have women that's not willing to wait too that may date you, and you're a virgin. You know
right?
what I'm
No,
saying?
then we're not dating. If you're not like for me personally, if you're not willing to wait till marriage, then chances are it wouldn't make us sense to wait because
Especially
that's
if I told you that up front.
right. Especially when I told you up front. I mean, if you watch this, you really know up front. But to a certain extent, understand that waiting, because I know we always say that waiting, but waiting, man, waiting is hard. Like, and I'm not just talking about just from a physical standpoint, because it puts so much more spotlight to the emotional connection, the spiritual connection, the how well do y'all get along? Are y'all intellectually like compatible?
Can y'all
Like,
have a conversation?
right? Can you have like what
Right.
do you think? What do you think? Can you hold your finances? Can you do? It makes you put light on everything else, and you gotta ask yourself: are you really ready for that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people are not. They say, "Oh, well, I just want to wait till I want to wait this." Well, let's see if we're compatible in all the other areas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just because we wait, don't mean that it's just gonna work out.
Absolutely.
You can wait. You can wait till you're married. It doesn't still mean it's gonna work out. You know what I mean? There's still a process that you have to go through with anybody that you date and want to see a potential with.
We're supposed to wait until marriage to have sex, but what if you want to test drive? Because if we get married, we don't want to be stuck with a guy who's small or can't satisfy me.
Definitely. I mean,
Like, that's what
at the end of the
faith
day, it's on your preference. I mean, if you feel like that's what you want to do, then that's where you are. And speaking from a person that honestly has a strong Christian point of view, but hasn't waited, I mean, there are times where I feel as though I want to wait, not gonna lie, and there are times where I feel as though I'm not capable.
Mhm.
So, I think that definitely it depends on the frame of mind that you're in, and if you want to be with a guy that wants to wait, if you really want to be with him, you have to accept it. But if you feel as though you can't handle that, that's not saying that all men who wait are good men, and that's not saying that all men who don't wait aren't good men. So I think it comes to that kind of crossroads to where what exactly do you want?
But do you think that changes like your perspective? Like, do you think that can sway like your decision?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because if you're having sex,
Yeah.
that could, like you said, it could almost overshadow the other different aspects that you might need to look over.
I would definitely say it does, and I mean, because there are times where the sex is so good in a relationship that you are willing to overlook the other things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that your reasoning on doing it is probably the most important thing, but also just doing that. If you feel as though you can wait and you really take the time to focus on learning that person, I think it can be beneficial. But if you're just doing it just because you just feel like it's the right thing to do, but you really have no other motive other than that, I think that it's really not gonna work out for you because you're not really you're probably not getting to know the other aspects of that person. So,
I'm gonna get kind of to the caller question though, because they were concerned about waiting, not only just waiting, but once you get there and you finally do it.
oh yeah,
If y'all aren't sexually compatible,
Right.
that could be an issue.
That's a, that can
You know what I'm
be a
saying?
big
Because I mean, sex is the most important thing, but when you have to deal with that person for the rest of your life,
it is.
if y'all aren't sexually compatible, that could be a deal breaker. So at the end of the day, as that person said, these are my own words, but I do believe in testing the car before driving.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
I think that I'm gonna be real.
But what's the test?
Having sex.
That's a test. What?
See,
Forever?
Oh, I mean,
What do you
no,
mean?
what you mean?
Like, is it just once?
No,
That's what I'm saying.
no,
Once,
you mean
twice?
that testing it to see if sexually they would satisfy.
Because the thing, oh, so you saying a date, cause have sex, and then be celibate till you get married?
No!
Oh, right, exactly.
Yeah,
So what do you mean by text?
No.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Cause here's the thing.
That's true. Hey, he stumped us with that one.
What? Okay. I mean, you could date, have
Yeah.
sex, and then go back to
If
the
you
sex.
capable, if you capable of doing it one time and not, I mean, bro, like God bless you.
No one. When it comes to having sex, nobody wants to be a coach or a teacher.
That's not
That's
true.
not true.
That's not
But
true.
at the end of the day, nobody wants anybody that, you know, like they said.
That won't
if-
satisfy
yeah.
you. That won't satisfy. I think that's.
Because some people have physical, not disabilities, but physical incapacities and infertilities and certain things that just make sex for them
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable, difficult, or just not happening. So, I mean, these things you need to kind of know.
Okay,
I have
so
any
we're gonna go into this question right here. If a woman has sex with you too soon, would you take her less seriously than if she made you wait?
Nah.
They want to answer that. The women want to answer
Why
that
not? Why not? You said no.
I mean, because at the end of the day, I'm part of the reason why you did it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
the-
you didn't get here by yourself because I know how I can be, and I go off the
Takes two to
vibes. I
tango.
wouldn't ever be in a bed with somebody if I didn't have that vibe from them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We let each other here. Who's to say that if she was with somebody else, she would even have sex with me? It's,
Yeah.
But can one night stands turn into a relationship?
yeah.
Someone
Okay.
asked y'all to define what's too soon.
A one night stand is a definition of could be too soon. I
don't
guess.
Okay, so taking a different perspective from Lamont. Okay, so like I'm like the opposite. You know what I mean? Because like if you obviously I'm a virgin, so I haven't done. But if I have the ability to have sex with you early, that's going to change the way I look at you to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Because I'm not naive to think that. Hold on, I'm not naive to think that I'm just this 10 out of 10. Ain't no other dude like me, got a mouthpiece like me, look like me. That I just have access to everything that anybody does. So I know that another dude that's good looking, that has a good mouthpiece, that puts on the right perception, could get you too. And my whole thing, like I said earlier, if everybody can have it, I don't really want it. You know what I mean?
That person could just be in a vulnerable space, or they just could be in that space in life to where they're just trying to do that at the moment. It doesn't define them or their character.
Things
It could literally just be it could have just been you.
You
don't believe in having sex just to have sex because you're an adult.
No.
You're not always on guard though, and that's the thing that I think you gotta understand. Like and I know your perspective is different, but no. But yeah, I think you're not always on guard, and so you may have a night where that happens, or even if it's not a one night stand, like it may be sooner than you've done it before. You know what I mean? And like you said, it could really depend on the person because it may just be somebody that you're more comfortable with, to go there with, and it could be somebody that you're not. So I think definitely it depends on the same thing we always say, like mentality and headspace.
What y'all think, people, for the viewers on live, man? Drop y'all comments.
Oh man,
What would y'all take the woman less seriously? No, I'm interacting with the live. That's what they say.
We'll see.
We're gonna see.
Any
While
of my
we wait,
viewers?
we're gonna go into this other question.
I have a question.
We have a question. What?
Yeah. What is your biggest struggle in your past relationships?
Ours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
everybody else. Yo, go on the list.
My biggest struggle was trust issues.
On you or her?
Me.
Okay.
I mean, reason why was because I was young. If I wanted to go travel, I want to go to this thing. You have this function. You have to be able to sit back and let me do me, and trust the fact that I'm gonna come back and not do anything. Get alive in it.
Mine's probably an end soon too. I think there's a comment up. So.
But yeah, you know, you gotta be able to let me sit back and let me do me, so I can go out there and live. But then at the same time, trust me, I'm not gonna go out there and just wallow you and embarrass
doing you though?
Yeah, you said doing your living.
Because doing you mean a bunch of, what does live mean?
But you're in a relationship.
Yeah, you're in a relationship. It's only so, there's parameters. Only so much.
This is when I was in a relationship. I'm not in a relationship anymore.
But I'm saying, we're talking about referring to you
Okay.
being in
In
a
a
relationship.
relationship.
I mean, going out there living was just me. Like, if I want to go to
The bar with my boys.
the bar of my boys, you have to be able to be okay and cool with that. But you being home and know that there's a risk that a woman may step to me, but be okay with me even say, "Nah, sweetie, I'm good."
So in that same token, are you cool with her being out with her girls and being approached? And
Yes.
But you sitting at home
Yes.
like you
Okay. Well, if you cool with
Live your life.
Okay.
I tell women that I'm talking to now. Look, because I'm better. Like, I don't want you to sit there and just sit on your couch twiddling your thumbs waiting for me. If I'm gonna come around and end up being the person you're gonna marry. Go out there and live your life. If I'm supposed to be with you, it's gonna happen.
True.
And don't sit there and like, I wonder if he's thinking about me right now. Because if I'm in Vegas, I'm not thinking about you.
Dang, man.
Wow.
I would say, for me, it's just been just the compatibility. I think for me, like just really having somebody that's just totally sold out. I think that's really been my biggest thing. Just really believing that somebody is actually, you know, like all about me and I'm all about them. That's really been my biggest issue. Like just really believing that. I don't really have much to elaborate on it for that. I think that's just really what I think as far as money.
You pleading the fifth?
Good on it.
You pleading the fifth?
Yeah, I mean, I think it ties into the compatibility aspect too a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for people who really know me, you know, like, I'm great at seeing the potential in people. You know what I mean? But I know right now I need to work on giving them the grace to reach that potential. You know what I mean? So I can be hard on the people, I'm cool with, I'm down for, and I have love for. I could be really hard on, pushing and trying to pull the potential out of them and have them be the person that God created them to be. So a lot of times that can cause friction that, that they're not ready for, I'm not ready for, and it could just, be a lot to a certain extent. So I think, that's what I'm currently working on, just be able to, give that grace, extend that grace, just as much as seeing that person that they can potentially be. You know what I mean?
I guess I will answer. My issue has always been, and that's the reason why I'm saying that, like, I've not been ready. And so now I've learned, don't force yourself to do that right now if you're not ready. And that's why I am where I'm at right now. Just chilling and relaxing because I've learned that, not in that space is not going to be beneficial for anybody.
Craig, someone wants to know, how do you build towards something if you're just out living your best life? Like,
how do I build towards something?
How do you build towards something if you're only living a life for yourself?
Okay, let me think. I'm gonna say this. Okay, so you build just by taking it a day at a time. Like when I'm with you, and when I'm not, I'm not. So if we're on a date and it's just me and you, I have enough self-control not to even look at my phone, and I'm all about you, right? But at the same time, when I'm by myself, I'm gonna quote unquote live my best life. But yeah, I hope I answered that.
I think it should be a
Someone
best life.
suggests that Craig stay single.
Dang. I am single.
But that's why I
Stay single.
Low.
I'm a bachelor, sweetie. Like, so what were you saying though? Like, you was like best life for you?
No, I was saying, I understand having fun. I don't think if I'm in a relationship, I don't think I'm trying to live my best life.
I ain't saying go out there and wild.
Yeah,
And wild out, but
Yeah,
have fun. You wanna go travel, you go travel.
I mean, but you can do all that in a relationship.
Right. True.
Craig, you got people coming for your top.
I mean,
My girl said she would fight you if y'all were in a relationship.
And she said you sound like you want a gotta bitch.
Oh, what?
hey, don't go there.
Hold on, wait, what is that?
Don't
No,
go
give
there.
me the definition.
Don't go there.
All right, next question.
Why do men wait so long to marry or propose?
Not ready.
I mean, I think, y'all kind of just explained, like, you're not ready. And I think if you have that awareness that you're not ready, why get in that and you're not ready?
I don't get it in a relationship though, because if you're gonna take that step forward and go in a relationship, why are you gonna wait 7 years like we talked about before? Why are you gonna string a girl along 7 years? You know what I'm saying? I don't get that.
But I think that's where the question of wife duty versus girlfriend duty.
Yeah, that's
because why do I need to marry you if I'm getting everything, you know, that would,
Then they go to that person's core values, you know what I'm saying? If they even want to be married.
Right.
So you gotta
Exactly.
Like, that's why.
And a lot of times I think a lot of people are not ready to accept that. Like if somebody's not, if they're not want to get married, you can't force somebody to get married. So you kind of gotta, you know.
I definitely think, with the that goes back to that girlfriend wife duties question. I think, you know, your answer was definitely a great answer. I just think that at times the lines are so blurred that we don't even recognize like what's the difference. And so, you know, I think that we can have fun and have a great time with parameters. You know what I mean? Like it's just like as a kid, like you on a spacewalk. Jumping around, you having a great time, but there's a wall right there, so you don't go flip out the spacewalk and break your neck. Like, you can still have a great time without necessarily getting wild and getting crazy, you know? So, I think that, you know, with the whole wife girlfriend thing, there's certain things, I'm not going to even lie, like, girlfriends, I've been with girlfriends, but, you know, I haven't been with a wife, and there's certain things that I have not done yet that I'm only But I think there's things that I haven't done with girlfriends that I'm only planning to do with my wife. So you know, definitely it's there's a difference in those girlfriend wife duties. You know.
Could y'all marry an older woman? What's the age cap for each of you?
Ooh, I could marry an older woman. I used to definitely like feel older women more. I think the only thing that's stopping me now with older women is just the fact that I feel like they're a little more ready to take it there than I am right now. But definitely, I'd say the age cap for me is probably like 29, 30. You know what I mean? That's for me. I'm 25 now, so yeah, about 29, 30.
I talked to somebody that was 31, and she was just as youthful as me. There's kind of like a, you know, it is really an age gap though, because there's little things that they would say or she would say or just do that people our age just wouldn't do. So it's those little nuances that are a little tricky, but that's about it.
I mean, you know, I don't mind dating older women. I mean, I've never dated a cougar before, so I mean, so I feel like it's an experience that, you know, that's
Different.
It's different than dating someone that's always my age or younger than me or close around my age vicinity. Because maybe, you know, that older person put me on to certain things, you know.
How do you feel about like if your girlfriend or your wife doesn't like want to work out like her body weight and stuff?
Ooh,
I
mean, no, let me get that.
Yeah, no, I definitely just need somebody to be motivated. Like, you have to be motivated in yourself and just want to be better. It's not even about you just competing with anybody else. Just be the best version of yourself. You have to want to be the best version of yourself and just want to be better every day. So,
yeah, you're not going. Everybody's body is different. You know what I mean? Like, I may have a six pack. Chris may have a six pack, but all our six packs are different. You know what I mean? Like, that's possible. So, I would say that, you know, for me personally, I definitely want somebody that's, you know, want to take care of themselves, because, you know, I like taking care of myself, and that's what I'm interested in. And we have to be compatible in that area for me, you know. So, yeah, I want somebody to take care of themselves.
Yeah, and I think it ties in, like Mom said, like, you just want to, I want you to be the best version that you can be. And I want, you know, I want to be that best version for you as well. You know what I mean? Like, man, I just don't, like, and it's hard because you're talking about health and everything like that. And like I said, if you don't have to be like anybody else. You can't compare yourself. You just be the best version of you, because it's hard to accomplish your destiny and do everything that God has put you on this earth when you physically can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, you're physically not in shape to go out and do this or do that and do that. So you're like stifling your own destiny. You know, you got to be prepared mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Now, mind you, I'm here. I understand it's a process, just like everybody else. You know what I mean? So, and I'm willing to, you know, push you just as I expect you to push me in terms of that aspect as well.
Okay, so is there any more questions on the live? We're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any more questions?
It's been great.
It's a great talk, fellas. Great talk.
Great. Appreciate all the
Hopefully
questions.
we answered majority of these the females' questions.
Expect round 2 coming.
Oh, there's gonna be a
okay.
round
Yeah,
two.
this definitely. This is a good question.
We got
What's your perfect girl?
your perfect girl.
She has to have a backbone at the end of the day. Like, I can't deal with a girl that's gonna let me do whatever I want, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have some pushback, especially if I'm not doing right, you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm not within my character or operating how I'm supposed to be acting, you know what I'm saying? So I just need a woman with a backbone. Of course, looks are important because we probably wouldn't be in a situation for me to get to know you if I didn't get past that barrier. Then, you know, you have to come in with some type of intellect. I can't marry or just be with somebody who I can't have an intelligent conversation with.
Me personally, my perfect girl will be someone who can push me mentally. Like my biggest thing is I'm more so attracted to, looks get you in the door, but your mindset's gonna keep you there. Your mindset's gonna keep me there, because if I'm solely attracted to you just by looks, the first time a girl who looks better than you, I'm gone. If that's all you bring into the table of it's just looks and good sex, then the first time I find somebody is better, you're gonna lose that fight every time. So mindset is big for me.
For me, spiritually, always progressive. Physically, just beautiful to my taste. I don't have a specific type. Mentally, just always trying to grow. Emotionally, just supportive and there for me, and like Lamont said, I don't like nonchalant girls. So like, having a backbone and just somebody that's just always wanted to engage in conversation. I think that's for me my perfect girl, and just somebody and also that wants to take care of herself. That's big for me.
Okay, for me, and I saw this in the live feed. Somebody was saying like, there's no perfect girl. When all of us say perfect girl, we understand that there's nobody perfect. I'm talking about who do you think would be the perfect match for you?
Yeah.
It's not because everybody says, oh, perfect girl, that means, to this standard, this standard. No, it's who do I think that can be the best match for me? You know what I mean? And me personally, I think mentally, we got to be there. Spiritually, we got to be there. Physically, we got to be there. Emotionally, we got to be there. You got to push me. You know what I mean? You got to hold me accountable. We got to have fun. We have to be able to have fun.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just doing nothing, we got to be able to have the fun. You know what I mean? You just got to be. You got to be cut from a different cloth. You know what I mean? Like, perfect to me is just like almost rare. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm moving different than all these other women. I'm holding myself to a higher standard. I'm expecting more out of myself. I'm expecting more out of you if you're gonna be my man. You have to understand the person you choose, man or woman, is a representation of you.
Absolutely.
It's a direct representation of you, and I need to know that every time you step up, you represent me to the best of your ability, and God first to the best of ability, and then me first, and then it's like me too. Every time I step out, I represent you. So I need you to. I need that. We gotta be here. We gotta
need somebody that's gonna hold me to a standard,
right?
And a standard that's
How much?
just some excellence.
We have another question?
How much time are you willing to invest in someone who doesn't necessarily have all the qualities you were looking for, but has the potential?
If they have it, I would say as much as possible, because I don't feel like I'm there either.
If they have the potential.
If they have the potential, I feel like I have the potential. I don't feel like I'm at a place where somebody could do that same thing to me right now. So, I would definitely. They could. I'm not in a place where I just have everything I want.
Yeah, I feel like you have to build somebody up. So
Yeah.
I don't think anybody just meshes perfectly with you. So
Yeah,
I feel like all the time, you know what I'm saying? All the time I would put into a relationship with you if you have that potential, if it's really there.
Yeah. For me, it's more so, are you progressing toward that potential? Potential that's never reached means absolutely nothing. So I need to know, one, I need to see that potential, and then I need to see like that you're making efforts, conscious efforts to reach that potential. You know what I mean? I think that's where I know, oh man, like I'm down for you. I'm riding with you because I see you progressing on that aspect. Now, if you can have all the potential in the world, but if you're just lazy, you don't do nothing, you're just this, not motivated and all that, that potential means nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
all we have time for more, is 3 more questions.
What are y'all deal breakers?
Deal breakers, complacency. For me, complacency. If you're like I said, if you're sitting here on the couch waiting for me, you're not gonna last long. For someone, that's just on a relationship standpoint. If on a business mindset, if all you want is that 9 to 5, then I'm gonna outpace you very quick, and then that's gonna be a deal breaker for me. I always want more. Always want to elevate.
A liar.
simple, straight to the point. Straight to the point.
Is that yours?
No.
Honestly, I would say both of y'all's, no lie. Like, complacency, just not, just not wanting to progress, and a liar, just somebody that I can't trust, man. That's if I can't trust you, man, we don't have anything. So honestly, both of their answers are my answers: complacency and a liar.
I would say honesty is a big one for me too.
Yeah, I mean, after he said it, those are all definitely deal breakers. I mean, me personally, I'm with that. I'm with that too. And just like loud women, like very, 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 very loud women. Y'all know what I mean? But
just
Irene.
like like
Tyler Perry.
Little
You owe me some
niggas,
money for
yeah,
that.
niggas.
See.
I never
love
been
hip hop.
Yeah,
Let's take it home and do this.
I never been attracted to that. So I think that's one of the deal breakers.
How would you build your woman up? How can you serve her?
Oh man. I'm gonna take that one. Sorry, fellas. Definitely, I would say, man, just gotta constantly be praying for her. You gotta constantly be engaging her, giving her, just that encouragement, that love, all those things that she needs. Because, that's something that, and I think that was sort of a question that we had. But, in what ways would we, help progress our women? I would definitely say, man, just praying for her, just always working on her, just always helping her, cultivate ideas, just always helping her just grow as a person in every aspect possible. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, just investing in her and giving your full interest and full time, treasure, everything. I think that's the only way that you really help build up, the woman that you desire to be with.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better. I'm rolling with that.
Last one.
Well, this is like an explanation. Somebody says define like loud.
No.
Oh, we did that.
Yeah, just like
Like somebody's trying to make a scene. When you
Yeah,
get
like Love and Hip Hop
have the
girls.
argument at home, but she's gonna make a scene in front of everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I want y'all to go back and clarify something, and we're going to our last one. Y'all said y'all would invest time. They're asking how much time would you invest though?
I said all the time. I
Yeah,
said
yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
No time is
All the time.
necessary.
If you, honestly, I feel like if you worth it and a man knows what he wants, he's willing to invest, a lot. Like as much time as it takes, really.
Okay, lastly, how important is submission of your wife?
That is, man, look, I'm going to take that one from you. Hey, submission of your wife.
Wait.
No, that's what I
Clarify
wanted.
submission.
Submission.
That's
like,
no, that's a good thing because a lot of people don't.
Ephesians 5. Somebody said Ephesians 5.
Let's look it up.
Who said that?
Look.
Zach, I think.
I knew Zach said that.
Hey, look, all right, clarify submission.
Clarify submission for me.
Pause. That was, the Ephesians 5 was for the loud women. But anyway.
All right, submission.
The Bible talks about loud women?
Yes. Ephesians 5. Check it out.
But a submission, I would say, ask that question one more time so I get it.
How important is the
Submission.
Submission is very important. I think that there are ways that women submit and there are ways that men submit also. And I think that you have to be just willing to be vulnerable, to be honest, and to understand that my God-given job is to lead you. And you have to be okay with that. And you can't, I don't try to, for lack of a better word, but there shouldn't be, two men in the household, like, and I mean like big dogs, like try to be alpha dogs. Like there's no way that works in a successful marriage. So I would say submission is just, that's very important, man. Like she has to be willing to give up her position or mindset or pride or anything. You are the rightful leader in the house in God's eyes. And when we go to heaven or when we pass away, we are going to get judged by how we did that in our lives. So I would say
Okay,
that's
so
key.
someone could on the panel here. Clarify submission.
Okay, yeah.
Because I still don't know what submission. What we mean by submission?
Submission is putting pride aside and serving.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's what submission is. I mean, and I feel like the man and the woman has to know.
submit, both
Yes,
of them.
we both have to submit. We both have to submit.
Okay.
Now, there's different things and different aspects we have to submit, bro. But honestly, in a relationship, if pride is there, like a lot of pride, bro, it's not gonna work. It's always gonna cause problems.
Okay, so here's my thing. I don't want my woman to submit to me.
I disagree with
don't.
that. I disagree with that.
You saying that?
You saying that, but you don't, because like you said, you
yeah.
don't want somebody that's gonna walk all that's gonna allow you to walk all over.
Hit
them.
it. Why would you want her to submit?
Because you're your own person. Like if I'm saying something, and you have a completely different viewpoint,
We're not saying.
We're not saying disagree. We're not saying
I
disagree.
don't want you to be quiet.
We're not saying even that. When I say submit, I don't mean like, oh, you just gotta sit back, be quiet, be meek.
Yeah.
No, I
It's
need
not
a strong woman.
Yeah.
I need a beast. I need you to be able to believe in
But
what
you
you
said
believe
serve.
in.
Yeah,
Yes,
serving
serve
doesn't mean
in a
that-
relationship. I still expect you to serve.
There's ways that I'm gonna serve you.
Right.
It's submission on both sides, but submission does not mean weak. You
Right.
just let the person.
Anything.
I still need to consult you. I still need your validation. I still need all of your approval, all those types of things. But at the end of the day, still the decision is mine. It is, because that is the job that God gave me to lead this household. So we consult on everything, all of those things. If you have a better solution to something, I'm definitely going to give you that right to, you have that right. That's your right to allow me to be consulted by you and make those decisions. But understand that at the end of the day, it still is my decision, because whether this family goes left or right is on me solely. It is.
Yeah, I
It just
disagree,
is.
I disagree with that.
Nah.
We're supposed to be in this thing together. So everything is not just gonna fall on me, because if
The leader.
You are the leader.
Okay, take it like this. Say it like this. Football example,
you
right?
go.
Everybody goes, who's the first person you blame if you lose?
the coach.
No. The quarterback.
No, the coach.
No,
The coach
no,
gets
no,
the blame.
no. Let's be honest. No,
It's
real,
the coach.
Craig, real talk. Let's be honest. If you play football, the first person you're gonna blame is the quarterback. Who gets the most praise on the team?
Quarterback.
On the team, who gets the most praise?
Well, the coach is part of the team.
No, who gets the most praise?
Players.
The
players,
and the
the
quarterback.
players get the praise when the team wins. When the team loses, the coach gets all the
Not true,
blame.
because the coach made
Go
every right call.
Go stand in the stands. Go
players
stand
execute.
in the stands and watch her. And watch. You'll see
Craig,
the
we're
fans
talking about
talking
players.
about
We're
football.
talking about
Come on.
players, bro. We're talking about players, right? And you're not gonna beat us in the football game.
Yeah.
But anyway, but for real though, like you're the leader, you know what I mean? So you have to take that charge. Now I'm not saying, bro, if she has, that's what I'm saying, submission. If she has a better plan and she offers you and gives you the reasons and lays it out and y'all discuss it, roll with that's your and that's your responsibility to understand that and to roll with that.
Absolutely.
You're not a good leader if you can't roll with that.
Right.
If you can't put your pride aside, like, oh, babe, you got a better idea than me.
better idea.
That's submission. In your part, you got a better idea than me. Let's roll with that. You know what I mean? But if you're just so proud and be like, nah, it's my idea. We're gonna do it my way, my this. Or if she has that, you say you want a strong woman that never submit. Bro, that's gonna be a hard marriage because y'all gonna be I know you, Craig. Y'all gonna be butting heads a lot. You know what I mean? Because if she might say no. Perfect. You said you don't want to submit, right? She says, no, I don't want you to buy that Lamborghini. And she ain't submitting on it. I don't care if it's your money.
I'm watching me come home with a Lamborghini.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah, see, then y'all creating problems. You see what I'm saying? So you want somebody that's going to submit, but also be able to voice their opinion and to be, like you said, it's a partnership.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, if she's my O-line got to block. Okay, I get a lot of the praise
that
because
you
I'm at the
hate it,
top,
but
but I
that's your
still
job.
need you to block.
Yeah.
If you don't block, I can't make the passes. It's really that simple.
And I can't help
The team.
I can't help the team in my role.
We can't win the game. It needs
Everybody-
both. It needs both. I need
Everybody
both.
has a role,
To play.
and I think that's the thing that has to be understood. The husband has a role, the wife has a role, the kids have a role, the dog has a role. Like everybody has a role. You feel me? So
Okay.
you have to be willing to accept your role, man and woman. It cannot just be. I'm not saying that women are weak. I'm not saying that. Just from the context of what the parameters that God created for a marriage. A woman has a role, a man has a role. God did not ask the women to protect the house.
Right.
Or
Okay. You
be
got your input on this?
I said I just want a woman to let me be a man. Like you said,
Yeah,
let me
straight
live,
up.
let him
Straight out saying
let me be a man. I mean, that's not saying, oh, let me go out and do what I want all the time. No, just let me lead the household. Let me give direction. If something breaks, let me fix it. Don't go trying to call, such and such.
Let me try at least fail first, and then we can call. You feel me? Like,
Okay.
man, I'm just,
All right, so that's all about the time that we have for this.
You got one more question. Is there gonna be a female version?
Yes.
Hey, you can wrap that up.
I was just about to get to it. If someone was going to wait for that one. All right, so that's all the time we got time for this right now. Where can they find you guys on social media? Let them know.
At Champagne Campaign, that's 2 underscores in between. Champagne __ campaign.
At B_Johnson_85 on Instagram, and at Chosen159. Chosen1, spell it out, CHOSENONE 59. Had to make sure I spelled it right, you feel me? But yeah, on Twitter, that's my name, IG BJohnson85.
Follow me, Christ is King 34. Hit me up,
Okay, you can always find me on social media, on Twitter and Instagram. I got the same tag, CJ_is_King. And you can also follow the show if you missed this and you catch it and you want to like it later. At Black Voice Talk Show on Instagram. You go to Twitter, it's at Black Voice Talks. And if you go to YouTube, it's just the Black Voice. Shout out to our sponsor one more time, the King Law Firm. If you need an attorney, you need to definitely call the King. Call him at the Baton Rouge office, 225-615-7676. If you're located in New Orleans, it's 504-263-0675, headed by the legendary former Judge C. Hunter King. Okay, so appreciate you for tuning in to the show. Like, share, subscribe. If you found it entertaining, appreciate you for tuning in. And to answer someone's question, there will be a women's edition. So if there's any woman out there that's looking forward to being on the show and she wants to voice her opinion, it could be you, hit me up. Slide in the DM, shoot your shot. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Appreciate y'all. Much love.